I want to say welcome to the grand finale. I want to welcome you, welcome to the grand finale of the Beautifully Broken Me Summit. I want to welcome you. We're going to be counting down in 1 minute and then we will be starting. So I'm just going to put the countdown. I want to say welcome. How are you doing? I'm going to be putting the countdown in a few seconds, but I just want to say hi to everybody. How are you doing? Happy Sunday. How are you doing today? Good afternoon from Massachusetts. Good morning, good evening, wherever you're joining from. I want to say good day to you, and it's absolutely a good day. It's a great day. It's the grand finale. We've had back to back speakers. It's been incredible. It's been insane. It's been mind blowing. Wow. I want to say hi to you guys. I want to say, come on. Tell everybody, tell your friends, tell your colleagues, tell everybody, your neighbors. Just tell them, listen. We are on, we're live, okay? I just really want you guys to, sit tight and just really kind of like stay tuned because we are coming and we are going to be coming in this very mighty force, okay? So let's really do 1 minute countdown and then we can come back officially. All right? Yes. I'm so sorry. I just realized that I was muted. Everything I was just saying, I knew you guys were not hearing what I was saying. My apologies. Okay, so I was welcoming everybody to the grand finale. That was what I was saying. Sorry, I was muted. I didn't realize it. So thank you for coming on and just kind of noticing that I just realized and I take responsibility for that. How are you doing? How is everyone doing? Happy Sunday. It's a grand finale. We've had an insane, fabulous, incredible past 2 days. The past 2 days has been mind-blowing. It's been phenomenal. It's been fabulous. I need words. I need words. I need adjectives because it's been, whoa. We've had 6 incredible speakers who have blessed us in this summit. Six incredible speakers who have really shared their wisdom in this summit. It's been insane. It's been incredible. It's been mind-blowing. There's been a lot of healing in our lives, in my life particularly. It's just been phenomenal. And to all the speakers who have, taken time off from work, some of them were on transit, they still showed up. Some of them were not feeling fine, they still showed up. It's been, oh my wow, people who showed up regardless of whatever or however they are feeling. However discomfort it is, they still showed up just to share their wisdom with us at this summit. And these are things I don't take for granted at all. I don't take it for granted. To all the 6 speakers, I want to say thank you. Thank you for pouring out. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Thank you. Thank you for taking your time to be here. And I'm going to mention their names. We started with the incredible, fabulous Coach Eden A. Onka. I want to say thank you. Thank you so much, Andrea Mason. Thank you so much, Andrea. I really appreciate you coming on. And I want to say thank you so much to Dr. Marsha Martins. Thank you so much, Dr. Marsha, for coming on, sharing your wisdom. And she took us through a journey. She took us through this breathing exercise. It was incredible. I felt so relieved. And that was day one. So, guys, if you missed it, please go watch the replay. It's actually on my YouTube channel. You can find it on my YouTube. You can also find it on Facebook because this is live streamed. It was incredible. It was wow. And then yesterday's, wow. Yesterday's was fabulous. We had another 3 incredible speakers yesterday. We had the incredible Gavin Scott. Regardless of how he was feeling in his body, he still showed up because he wanted to share his wisdom with us. And I want to say thank you so much. I don't take it for granted. I want to say thank you. And I want to thank you so much, Laurie Heppers, for sharing your wisdom. Oh, wow. It was a phenomenal session. Thank you so much. And then Tom Palari was on transit. He was actually on a journey, but he wasn't driving. He was on a journey, but he still shared his wisdom with us yesterday. And I just really want to say that regardless of where you are on your journey, regardless of where you are, you have something to give. Regardless of what you're doing, what you might even think you are inadequate. You might think, oh my wow, oh my God, I can't, I don't have enough. I want to have this amount of thing before I can begin to show up. It is progress over perfection. You can't have it all complete and be like, oh, before, let me just have all of this and all of this put together. No, it is progress over perfection. You want to at least take it progressively, little by little, before you get to the point where you've perfected. I want to say thank you to all the incredible speakers. And to the speakers we're having today, the lineup of speakers that we're going to be having today. Honestly, I can't thank you guys enough. I cannot thank you guys enough because this session, Peace from Broken Pieces, answered my questions. And for those of you who were just joining, I actually shared one of the reasons of how this came about. I was in that place in my life where it was just all dark place. I was in my darkest place, one of my darkest places anyways. And I had those questions, I had those things where I felt it was as if I was on standstill. It was like I was stagnated, kind of. I had so many things I've been hoping for and it hasn't yet come. I had so many things. I was a little anxious, but it was just really in that place where it was a place of uncertainty. That's the right word. And I was just thinking in my head and worried, and I was just like, where is peace? How can I find peace? When what I'm looking for, what I'm hoping to have received, or what I'm trying to get, and you could be asking that question. This sickness is still there. How can I find peace? I lost my job. How can I find peace? This divorce is not done. How can I find peace? I'm into one situation or the other. It's worrying me. It's beating me up. It's challenging me. How can I find peace? How can I find peace? I don't know if you're asking that question, because I did. And that was what led to this. That was what baited this. Peace. It was in my quest for peace. It was in my quest for peace. In my quest for peace. In my quest for peace. I'm going to repeat that again. In my quest for peace. I was asking the question, Where is peace? I was asking the question, I'm like, where is peace? Where is peace? And I'm just going to share a little. I know I started the story, but I'm just really going to, bring you guys back to this particular story. So I know I shared a little bit of the story, but I'm just really going to summarize the story. I just want to welcome you guys watching me from Instagram, from IG. I want to welcome you. Thank you for joining me. And I just really want to connect with you guys, watching from there. So this is the grand finale of the piece from Broken Pieces Summit, the Beautifully Broken Me Summit. This is our grand finale. And I am just really thrilled at all the impacts that we've gained in this weekend, starting Friday. I'm so thrilled by all of those. And I just really want to share the story because today, July 10th, is a very significant day for me. July 10th of 2018 was the day I made that decision whether to remain in my abusive marriage or to flee for my life. It was on this day that I made that decision. I asked myself, I kept on thinking, should I continue to fight? Is it worth fighting for? Fighting a little more when I know my life is at risk? It was on this day we had the big commotion that happened July 1st of 2018. But it took me 10 days. I don't know. Some people will just boom, they want to make quick decision and boom. But for people like me, I have to stay and process it. It took me 10 days to decide and be like, should I stay in the abuse? Should I continue to stay in that place? Or should I flee for my life? I had called the domestic violence shelter home. And it was up to me to make my choice whether or not I want to stay or leave. But I was still like, what was I thinking in my head, you might ask me? I was thinking about, what will people say, right? That's one thing I'm thinking about. Because people know me, right? A lot of people know me, this good girl on campus, 9th Fellowship executive. Yes, we did one of those evangelism on campus, Christian campus fellowships. And all of those good stuff, lived a good life, married my husband, a virgin. And all of a sudden, got into the relationship. I shared a little bit of the story, so I'm not going to repeat that part. So you're going to go watch the replay of yesterday's event. And what happened? I just noticed that I was losing myself. In fact, I lost myself completely to the point where you can't even pick anything else from me. I lost confidence. I was incredibly naive to the point where, I was incredibly naive. I just got married and that was just it. But I continued to ask myself, should I stay or should I flee? Should I stay or should I flee? And then I got this phone call that changed my life. And I don't know if she's watching, but it was one of the staff at the domestic violence shelter home. And she called me. And she's like, yeah, we've heard from you and we want to just know what you want to do, what you decided to do, but we cannot force you to make your decision. And I was just kind of still indecisive, even though my life, I was at imminent place of danger where it was like, if he comes back to me, I know it's really going to be you're going to like, but I was still in that. She was like, listen, the choice is yours to choose whether you want to continuously remain in the abused, you want to continuously remain in that place of abuse, or you want to flee for your life. The choice is yours. You know the answer. And this is me speaking to anybody who is in that situation. You're in that place, you know the answer. And you're still there. Because I want to tell you, if I had remained in that place, come on now, What are we doing? What am I, you won't even hear anything about Nobo IJ anymore. You won't even hear anything about the beautifully broken me or Nobo IJ call, whatever. I won't be there would in fact I would have been totally erased and wiped out. But I thought about it once more and I was just like, you know what? This is it for me. I'm gonna take the bull by the horn. I fled. I literally fled. I fled. My ex-husband, his mom was actually went to his shop because he had a shop. And I called her on the phone. I was just like, Mom, I don't think you're gonna see me anymore. I'm off. I'm gone. I packed my things. I was shaking. I dived into the unknown, and this is exactly how many years ago? 4 years ago, 2018 to 2022. Yes, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But I told myself, you know what? Rather than stay in the abused and beg not to be tortured anymore, and beg to be treated with love and respect, and beg to be treated as a wife, rather than remain in that place of torture where somebody will be like, mommy, did you pray on this food? Before IJ would give us poison in this house. That was what I constantly heard. Before she gives us poison in this house. Where it was more like they came up with something. It was, I would call it a spiritual abuse, where it was more like she has a spiritual problem. She has a spiritual mother. And what happened? I began to believe them because I didn't believe in myself anyways. It was a lot. It was so much going on. Not to talk of the physical abuse aspect, where I felt, you know what? I will flee. I will flee. But let me tell you, that decision to flee, it doesn't come easy. I don't know, it comes easy for some people, but for me, it was tough. Because this was the first relationship I had. Like, it wasn't as if, let me just put in my Nigerian term. If I was a Ron's girl, I would have just been like, you know what? I did some, I lived some life, I lived my life, that kind of a thing. No, I wasn't. That wasn't the case for me. But it happened. And that is life for you. That is what life happened. And I want to stand here to say that I am grateful that it happened the way it did. Because if it had not happened, I would not have discovered myself and I would not have found this path. If it had not happened, I would not have been able to be empathetic. Because it happened, I can go back there and put on the shoes and drag somebody out of there because I have felt that pain before. Honestly, if it had not happened, I wouldn't have been able to be empathetic. If you're coming to me and you're sharing your situation or whatever it is you're going through, I might not, take it, I might just be like, well, I'll pray for you. I won't really take it as much as I'm taking it right now. But it was on this day, July 10th of 2018, when I told myself, enough is enough. I fled for my life. I literally fled. I literally fled. And looking back now, I am just so grateful to God, incredibly grateful to God. I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful because what didn't kill me made me stronger. That situation that was meant to kill me made me stronger. Gave me a voice, gave me a platform, gave me a podcast, made me become a coach. That situation that was meant to kill me made me who I am right now. And that's why I can stand to say, listen, if I can come out of it and I can come out of it strongly by the help and the grace of God, you too can. And even more, you can. So I got to the shelter home. I didn't even know what to expect with it. I didn't know where I was going to. I didn't know where I was going to. But guess what? July 10th of 2018. I made that big decision and I told myself I cannot continue to be abused anymore. I cannot continue to beg to be treated with respect, to be treated as a wife. I cannot continue like this anymore. I can't continue to live my life like this. And I fled. So I got into the shelter home. I didn't know it was more like, whoa, this is a different environment. How can I begin to adjust? How can I begin to? And that's why when you tell some people sometimes and you just tell them, listen, the shelter place is good, they might just be like, but listen, that place was a learning experience and a training ground itself. It might not be like the comfort of your home, but hey, I learned so much from that. I stayed there for almost a year, so I can tell you how that feels like. And I was busy. I wasn't always at home. I was a student. I was working. I was busy. But I learned a lot of things from that experience because for me, being a Christian that I am, that experience actually felt like David. I saw myself like David in the tube of Adullam. That was how I saw myself. I saw myself there, and I knew that there were a lot of women who I need to be strong, not just for myself, but for some other women. And I'm just incredibly grateful to God. I am grateful to God for that experience. For that experience. And guess what? God used what the enemy meant for evil. And he did what he turned it for good. He took what the enemy meant for evil and he turned it for my good. I left. I fled. I have never looked back. And there've not been any reason for me to regret or say, why did I? No. I have never looked back and I would not look back. Yeah, at some point I felt like I wanted to go back. Anybody who's a survivor would always say that they just feel like maybe I should go back. I don't know, that feeling always comes. And you see some people going back. Yes, I felt that way. I wished that he would beg me. I wish he would come back. I wished. But the more I wished, the more he stayed far away and he never came. Even up to now, he didn't come back. But because he was a narcissist, he is a narcissist. He actually said I was going to come begging. Well, I want to thank God. I'm just really kind of like saying this, and it's more like a story of victory because I'm grateful that, that I can stand now after 4 years of fleeing from my abuser. I can stand now to say, come on. I cannot take that credit. I cannot take that credit to myself, and I'm giving it to God. I am saying, thank you, Lord, because if I had not fled, it would have been worse. You wouldn't have even heard from me. There wouldn't have been anything like me. You wouldn't have even heard anything about me. And it's just so sad because too many women are in this situation where they are lost, forgotten, and gone. Too many women are in this same place, this same exact spot where it's more like, should I or should I not? But I want to ask you this question. If you're in that place of should I not? What would you have done if you're not concerned about what people will say or think, what would you have done? If the concern for you, it's not what people will say or think, what is that thing you would have done? What is it? What is it? And that was when I started the summit. When I started the summit on Friday, and yesterday I shared a little bit. I was just like, listen, the month of July has always been that month for me when I feel like, whew, flashback months. But when I look at my life now, I cannot be grateful to God enough for how far He has helped me. I am so thankful. The experiences weren't pleasant at all. But I told myself that I'm going to use my pain. I'm going to use my pain. I'm going to use my mess as a message. My mess will become a message. And I'm going to use my adversities as a stepping stone. As a stepping stone, and it's not going to be a stumbling block for me. I'm going to use it as an inspiration. And let me challenge you listening. If you're not using your adversity to glorify God, if you're not using your adversity as a stepping stone, then honestly, your adversity has just wasted. You've just wasted it. The pain just happened for nothing. The adversity and all the things that you experienced that would have incredibly blessed someone's life, that would have been an inspiration to the life of someone. If you're not using it, if you've not started using it, then it would have just been a waste. It would have just been a waste. Please, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? There's a great need for this. People are dying. There are people who are in that place, in that situation. And let me tell you, and that is actually one of the reasons why I decided to step in. Because I don't want any woman. That's why ever since I had this, thing going on with me, I have decided, you know what, I cannot live a promiscuous life. Because people who live that kind of life, honestly, they've not discovered themselves. They've not discovered who they are in God. Because if you discover whose you are, and who you are, you will definitely know that there are certain lives I cannot live. There are certain things I cannot do. Because I am creating a legacy. Yes, a legacy. And that is one thing that's made me. And I've told myself, I don't want to screw it up for the next woman. I don't want to screw it up for the next girl who, because of how I messed up my life towards the end or whatever it is, and then they'll just feel like, you know what, there's no hope anymore. I can't, there's no destination to this thing. I can't screw it up for them. I am living that life of legacy. So that when they hear of me, when they read of me, it's definitely going to be that woman, that noble idea of a woman who used her adversary as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. I stepped on it. It almost killed me. I almost took my life. But you know what? I stepped on it. And I told myself, listen, you can't. This is the most you can do. What else can you do? This is the most you can do. What else can you do? This is, and honestly, whenever we're going through adversity, whenever we're going through challenges, whenever we're going through any form of something, whatever it is or the other, because I'm a person of faith, so I'm just going to be throwing in that perspective, because I can't really live my life without God. I cannot. It's just a part of me that cannot be taken away from me. So whenever you're going through any form of adversity, can you please ask yourself, what am I learning in this? What am I learning? What am I learning? What am I learning? Constantly ask yourself, because there is a lesson. There is a lesson. There is a lesson. There's something to learn. It's not just happening for happening's sake. There's a lesson to learn. What are you learning in that situation? That place where you are. What have you learned? What are you learning? What are you learning? And just say, God, whatever you're teaching me, please help me to learn it fast. Help me to learn it fast. Honestly, I can stand now and say I am incredibly grateful to God, because he took what the enemy meant for evil and he turned it for my good. He turned it for my good. It's been a whole lot of learning experience this season of my life. This season of my life had exposed me to incredible, phenomenal people. This season of my life has exposed me to, different coaches, because I threw myself into different coaches. I threw myself into reading books. I threw myself into studying, the word of God for myself. I wanted to learn. I wanted to grow. I wanted to heal. I wanted to be better. I started looking within myself and I started asking myself, what do I need to heal from? Because let me tell you, if we don't heal from it, we're going to be attracting those kind of people again. And I'm telling you, I don't know where you are in your journey. I don't know where you are. Are you in your journey of transition, where you're just kind of like, in that place of transition? You're just trying to maybe transitioning from here to here or from there to there, whatever it is, relationship transition, job transition, whatever it is, kind of transition, whatever your journey is. I know transition sometimes could be tough. For me, when I moved from being in, and I told myself, I can't continue being in this abusive, where I almost took my life. And in fact, that was a pivotal moment for me, when I almost took my life. When it was, the height of it was just here. It was so unbearable. It was choking me. It was so much that I was like, you know what? I think this is it. I don't know where you are in your journey of transition, but I just want you to know that if I can do it, again, if I can do it, you can do it even more and even better. You can. You can do it. You can do it. But you just want to find out whose you are. Who are you working with in this journey? Because let me tell you, you cannot do it alone. You can walk on this journey by yourself. It's not something you can just do by yourself and then get to, no, you can't. Maybe, I don't know if anybody can walk on the journey, on this kind of path by themselves. But who are you walking with on this journey? Who? Because if I had walked alone, it would have choked me. And I just really want to remind you, especially some of you will be like, well, she has support, she has family around her. No, I don't. I did not have family. My family were all in Nigeria, and I'm just by myself here. Yeah, I have family of, the church community. I have a, Christian church community that I belonged to, and I really love them a lot. But immediate family, no. It was a decision I made by myself and for myself. And in my family, we had no history whatsoever of divorce, no history of separation. So it's not something that you're going to be like, well, maybe her family or whatever. No. So it was a big decision, because I felt like, now I don't want to start this. I don't want to be the one to start this. And that was why I wished that he comes back. I just prayed, I wished, I cried. I said, God, please, you touch this guy's heart to come back. But I just thank God right now that he didn't answer his prayer, because there was one day I was praying. I don't know. I just hope you just take my story as I'm telling you, and that's the way it's coming. This is unscripted. I don't have any script anywhere. I was just praying and I was crying to God. I was just like, I don't want to break this. I don't want to break this. We don't have a history of divorce in my family. I just don't want to be, I don't want that stigma of divorce, all of those things. I know. I was just crying. And he just said to me, write this young man's name on a paper. He said I should write it. So I just wrote it down. The next thing, scribble it. Like, you scribble it until you can't even see the name, or nobody can even read it out. I scribbled on it and scribbled on it and scribbled on it. And he told me that he is never going to come back to you. So forget about it. It felt like a joke to me. But 4 years, he hasn't reached out to me. He hasn't reached out to my family. And I'm like, whoa. Yes, he hasn't. So I'm incredibly grateful. I'm incredibly grateful to how God had used that ugly situation, that terrible situation, that thing that seemed, oh my goodness, he had used it to bless lives and still blessing lives. That thing, he has used it to bless lives. I want to connect with you if you are in that situation, in that place of transition, or in that place where you feel like, should I make this decision? Should I not? I wouldn't advise anybody to leave their marriage. But hey, if it's at that point where you feel like your life is threatened, imminent danger, please, it's time to flee and just leave the abuser. You can flee and separate for a while. And then if you guys get yourself together, he realizes he has done something wrong. And then you get yourself to the same point where you both feel like, okay, yeah, I realize my fault. He realizes what he's doing wrong. And then you guys do some therapy, you do some coaching, you meet some counselors, and then you're able to kind of like resolve whatever. Then fine. I've seen testimonies like that. When they were able to resolve their differences, the man humbled himself, the woman humbled themselves, and they came together and they formed, and it came to be this formidable force. It's possible. I've seen stories and testimonies as to, but if the man is not ready to do the work, because it's a lot of work, the man is not ready and you're the only one who's ready, then there's no way. It takes two to tango. It takes two. You cannot do it by yourself. You can't. And I remember the words of my dad when I told him, and I just told him, I'm so sorry, Dad. I'm so sorry. I brought shame to this family. And he said to me, don't be sorry. You did nothing. Because we know you. I raised you. I know you. I can vouch for you. And you see that guy? He has to come to us. He has to come through us. I know you have you have the will. You have this will of yourself and you can make decisions. You're an adult, but I'm taking it off. I'm taking that off you right now. Right now, let's just pretend that you don't have that decision anymore, because I'm releasing it. I'm removing it from you. The decision will come through me, your dad. He has to tell me what he did, how he treated his daughter. He has to come through us. He has to answer some questions. And until he's ready, to do all of that, you're not going back. And listen to me. And he said this, and I was shaking, and it was on phone conversation. He just said, listen, you're not going back. You are not going back. And he repeated it. He said, you are not going back. Yes, we want you to be happy in your marriage, but not to the point where suicide it has become a tendency, and you're thinking suicidal thoughts. It's more like a suicidal tendencies. You want to just kill yourself and die. That is the extreme that it got to. And he's like, you're not going back. And I look back now and I'm grateful that I have loving people around me. I'm grateful. I am grateful. See how I drag the fool. I am grateful that I have loving people around me. Loving parents who said, listen, you're not going back. Sorry. I don't care if you want to go back. But if you want to go back on your own, then it's your decision and your choice. But listen, you're not going back. See, looking back now, I am grateful. I am grateful for the journey. The journey hasn't been a smooth ride. It hasn't been a smooth ride. But like I said, you have gone through different life adversities. You cannot waste it. And let me tell you what I mean by wasting it. If you're not doing anything, with your situation, if you're not doing anything with it, then you've wasted you've wasted it. It's already a waste. If you are not using it, if you're not using it as an inspiration to the world, sorry, you're wasting that you're wasting it. If you're not using it to hold somebody else up and to tell them, you know what, I got you. If you're not using it, if you're not wearing that shoes again to say, you know what, I want to wear these shoes because of you, because I have been there, I have smelt it, I have felt it, I know what it feels like to be humiliated in a public place like a mall. I know what it feels like to be embarrassed in a church. I know what it feels like to be in a situation where you're always thinking of, why did I get myself here? How am I getting, why am I here? What did I do? Why did I make this decision? Why did I make this decision? And like I said yesterday, if you're listening to me as a young person and you're in that place of making a decision whether or not to marry this person or not, please read the handwritings on the wall, because it's definitely there. You have to read the handwritings on the wall. People call them red flags. Yes, there were some red flags that I ignored. But again, one of the things I would say to a young person is this: get a coach, get a mentor. I didn't have any coach. I didn't have any mentor. I was 22 at the time. I just graduated from the university. It was actually a polytechnic. I just graduated. I had these friends, and we were just kind of like, the next thing after graduation was to marry. Well, I mentioned red flag because one of the red flags was when he said that the reason he loved me, I shared this yesterday. I shared some of the things I did not share. So please go and watch the replay of yesterday. It's actually on YouTube. No, the beautifully broken me TV. You can find yesterday's summits. He said to me, I was more like, you know what, why? How did you, why are you interested in me? Like, and he's like, oh yeah, I love you because you don't have ideology. You don't have principles. See, now I'm laughing about it, but then it didn't make any, it was just my level at that particular point in time. If I had a personal coach or a personal mentor, I would have just been like, shared it with them. And I'm encouraging you. You cannot see, you can't do this journey on your own without a mentor or a coach. Somebody you can always reach out to say, hey, this, somebody that can be very brutally honest to you. Again, I want to repeat that. I said to him, why are you interested in me? This naive 22-year-old girl, why? You're in the US. There's a lot of women, a lot of ladies, you're exposed. Why me? And he's like, yeah, because you don't have ideology. You don't have principle. Yes, Kenny Crown, that was it. Absolutely. I lacked self-awareness. I didn't know myself. I didn't know who I was, who I am. Like, I didn't really get to that place of knowing myself. It was zero for me. Because, and that's one thing I want to encourage you. Please, please, please get a mentor, get a coach. Get to know yourself, get to discover yourself, get to discover who you are, get to do it. You need it. You cannot live this life like rumbling and, just guessing and just, being allowing yourself to be in that place where you're playing small. You cannot play small anymore. This is no longer the time to play small. And then when he said it, it didn't strike any chord to me. One of the things I said to him, to see how naive I was, I said to him, I'm like, so if I have self-aware, if I have ideology, you won't love me anymore. And then he laughed hysterically. And then he's like, well, let's forget about it. Let's not talk about it. Are you kidding me? That was what happened. It did not strike any chord. I wish I had shared it with a mentor or a coach. That was just it. One red flag, ignored. So there's always something. There's always something that you have ignored that you saw at the very beginning. There's something. There is something that you saw that you ignored. There is something that you ignored at the very beginning. So I just really want you, if you're in a relationship, you're considering to marry somebody or anything like that, I just really want to say, please, look inwardly. Because marriage is not all there is. It is not. My parents are still married. I love their marriage relationship. They've been married for almost 40 years. And it's more like, whenever you see them, you feel like, whoa, wow, this love is still like on point. Like every young person, I wanted a marriage that is just like that of my parents. But you know what? Life gave me a badge of honor. And I just thank God. Right now I can say thank God that life gave it to me, because if not, I won't have been speaking to you right now. If not, there won't be any noble IG in anywhere. If not, there won't have been any The Beautifully Broken Me podcasts in any place. If not, there wouldn't have been this Piece from Broken Pieces Summit that we just did, that we're doing the grand finale today. There would not have been anything like that. So I want to charge you up listening. You that have experienced those adversity, please, the world is waiting for you. Come on, come on, come on. I'm charging you up. The world is waiting. Look around you. Look around you. There are people who are waiting to hear from you. There are people who are waiting to just kind of like, they're waiting for you to show up. There are people who are waiting for you to come out so that you can heal them. Because let me tell you, I was at one point in my life and I was just like, I don't even know what to do. And then I jumped into Instagram. It was on one IG live I stumbled on. And then it was like, wow. And up to now, I'm just like, thank you for showing up. I keep saying it to her. That's incredible Ekene honor. I'm like, thank you for showing up. Because this truly blessed me. And that is why, like I said, guys, I am intentional as to how I live my life. And I just want to encourage you. So if you're in that place of transitioning and you've transitioned out of an abusive relationship, because I'm just going to take abusive relationship as a case study, because I used to be there. And if you're just joining, I'm just really kind of like, reminiscing and just, glorifying the name of the Lord with this, because on this particular day, July 10, 2018, that was the day I decided, should I stay or should I flee? Should I stay in that place of torture, pain, agony, suicidal tendencies, physical abuse, and all form of abuse? Should I continue to stay there? Or should I flee into the unknown where I don't even know where I'm going to? But should I go there? And then you hear those things that he's saying, oh, the angel is better than the devil you don't know. Come on now, let's stop saying this. Oh, this angel. Yes, this is what he used to do. He used to beat you. He used to do this. If you go out there, you don't know who you're going to meet. Listen. Not when your life is at imminent risk. Not when it's not when it feels like it's not when it feels like it's choking you. You're going to die tomorrow. Like, please. Flee. Like, literally, like, just don't stay. You cannot afford to stay. And then someone will bring your corpse. And then that thing, the story will just end. And then nobody will hear about you anymore. And then a great treasure. See, just imagine if when I wanted to take my life, when I swerved into, I shared the story yesterday. So go watch the replay. So just imagine when I swerved into the oncoming car, and this actually happened the same 2018, when I swerved into because I was so frustrated. I was so frustrated. It was a huge humiliation that I had from him at the shop. I was selling for him at the shop. And then this lady made a mistake and she gave me less money. And then I made a transaction for her. It was actually MoneyGram. And then she was like, oh my God, I wanted to do 50. I wanted to add additional $50. Is there a way I can change I'm like, sorry, I can't. See, when you stay in an abusive relationship, you will lose yourself completely and you will lose your confidence. You wouldn't have any, there won't be, you can't even speak up anymore. You've lost there's no confidence in you anymore. There's no, you've lost your self-worth. There's nothing left in you. There's nothing. It's zero. It's completely zero. You've lost your confidence. So what happened? I was in that place. I was in that place. When I was driving, I was just like, come on, I can't continue like this. Because what happened when the lady made a mistake, I didn't know what to do. I was just like, I don't know. I was shaking like a leaf. I don't know how I can, how, you know what, I'll call my husband. That was what I said to her. And she was like, okay, I thought I was going to call my husband. And then all of a sudden I called him on the phone and then he came. And then when he came, there were a lot of people in the shop. There were a lot of crowd. People were queuing up because they want to, And then he came and said, you're so useless. You're so worthless. You cannot do anything right. I left the shop just a few minutes ago. Look, now you're calling me. And then when he said it, I was crying profusely because I felt like, not again. And what happened? the lady said something that, whew, she's like, sorry, ma'am. Did you just say you were going to call your husband or your boss? Because this lady wanted to intervene and she was like, excuse me, sir, it was. He didn't let her finish. He was like, hold it there. And then he was like, this is medicine after death. You didn't collect the exact money. Why are you calling me? And the lady was like, sorry, sir, I did. And then he just stormed out of the shop. And the lady said, sorry, did you say you were calling your boss or your husband? That part teared me up. You know when you cry and there's these two tears like flowing in your eyes at the same time, and everything is that teared me up completely. People were turning back. People were leaving the shop and go. I was like, whew. And then after that, then I've been battling with God, kill me, God, take my life. How can I just be alive? I don't want to bring shame to my family. All of those kind of things. I've been crying and saying, I just pray. Whenever I sleep, I just pray I don't wake up this morning. I just pray. I don't wish anybody to be in this situation. So please, you cannot be in this situation. Reach out, please. Please reach out. And that was just it. So when he finally came back to the shop, the devil was now like, come on now. What is left? What is left? Nothing. See what you're going to do? Look at that white SUV coming in an opposite direction. You know what? Just crash into it. The latest you will see yourself is basically, you'll see yourself in the emergency room. And that's it. You won't die, but you will just be in an emergency room so that you can just stay in the emergency ward for a little bit, and that will save you. I'm telling you, I'm not making anything up. That was the thought I had. It was so loud in my ears. At least you can just be in the emergency room, and that will save you some drama. You can just stay away from him for a bit. In my head, I said, oh, wow, okay. Maybe I should do that. And did I do it? Yes, I did. I did. But I don't know what happened to the van. I don't know what happened to the SUV. The SUV just sweeved away. There was this crashing sound. But I don't know how the SUV escaped it, because I was driving towards that SUV with the intention of crashing. You don't want to get to this point if you're listening to me. You don't want to get to this point in your life when all you want to do is kill yourself. No, there's more. There's more. There is more. There is more. You need to reach out, like as soon as possible. If you're listening to me on Instagram, IG Live, send me a DM. If you're listening to me on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, if you're listening to me wherever you're listening to me from, please send me a private message, because you cannot do it alone. I can't stand you going through what I've experienced. And that is why I've decided to go on this journey with you fully, because I'm very passionate about this. This is what I'm passionate about. So I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you. Please reach out. And one of the other things I want to say is this. If you're in that place or in that situation where you're always having limiting self-talk. What do I mean by limiting self-talk? You're always talking yourself down. There's always this, whatever, you're not good enough. Look at you, because let me tell you, even when I left my abuser, even when I left my ex-husband, his voice kept ringing in my head so loudly. I don't know what voice you're hearing. I don't know who's speaking to you. When I still left him, even though I was not there, his voice kept ringing in my head. To some of you, it could be the voice of a teacher. a teacher who had told you, listen, you won't amount to anything good. It could be the voice of anybody, maybe your parents who have said some things to you, and then you've that has kept you. Whatever it is, whatever voice it is, whatever voice it is, I want to say you can shut it off. You can shut it off. You can shut off that voice. And what would you do? Whenever that voice comes to you, because those things come to us at like data. It comes to us like, okay. It comes to us like, okay. Okay, you're not, look at you. It tells you what you're not. It tells you what you're not. It tells you you're not good enough. It tells you, look at you. Look at you. It tells you, look at you. You're not good enough. You're worthless. You're this. You're that. I want you to counter it with something positive. And sometimes I sit with that word for a little bit, but you don't have to if you've not gotten to that point of emotional intelligence. Sometimes when it tells me that, I take it as a data. What is this thing trying to tell me? Is it true that I'm not good enough? No way. I am not. I'm not what this voice is saying because I am good. My creator God said everything he created is good, so I am good. Everything he created is wonderful, so I am wonderful. So use it as a data sometimes. But whenever you hear those words, I want you to change it with something positive. I am beautifully and wonderfully made. One of the things my ex said to me was, a piece of rag was more valuable than me. And whenever that inner critic comes to tell that to me, I'll be like, I wouldn't even take it. Because again, don't let it. I want you to look at it and imagine yourself. Are you really that? No, you're not. So counter it with something positive. Immediately it comes. Change it immediately. Don't even ruminate over it. But there's a level where you think about it. There's a level where you get to where you've become aware of emotion and you can just sit with it and be like, okay, what information is this telling me? Is it saying something to me that I don't know that is new? But hey, I want you to get to that point where you get to know yourself. You get to that place of self-awareness where you completely know yourself and you get to that place of emotional intelligence where you comfortably understand your emotions. And you can tell yourself, okay, why am I feeling like this? And then you want to name it, you want to label it, you want to know what it's called. How am I feeling this like this? Why am I feeling like this? Why am I feeling like this? And then you name it, you call it what it is. So as we begin to wrap up, I want to say, use your adversity for the greater good. For the greater good. Use it because you cannot afford to waste it. You cannot afford to waste it. You cannot afford to waste it. What I mean by wasting it, if you're not putting it to work, if you're not using your story as an inspiration to others, then you would have, it's almost like you've wasted it. It's already wasted. But I know even if you're not putting it to work, after listening to me today, you begin to tell yourself, I have something. So some of us, we're praying for things, praying for big things. No, it's within you. You've experienced something that other people haven't. Maybe they have, but you can use it to encourage the next person. You can use it to admonish the next person. Some of us could be relationship challenges. Some of us could be job experiences. Some of us could be different form of whatever it is or the other. Please don't keep it to yourself. Please don't waste it. Please don't waste it. Use it for the greater good. Use it. And I want to tell you, no matter how ugly your situation is, no matter how messy that situation is, no matter how that situation would have been, where it feels like, oh my God, it's choking me, it is, I can't breathe anymore. It's at this point where it's like, I want to tell you that, and I want you to listen to that voice that is saying, be still, and know that He is God. Because one of the things I've known for a fact is God uses what the enemy meant for evil, and He turns it for the greater good. He turns it for the greater good. I want to plead with you listening to me as we begin to wrap up. I want to plead with you. I want to plead with you. I want to plead with you. You don't have to go in this path by yourself. You cannot be on this by yourself. You can't do this alone. You cannot do this alone. You can't do this alone. You need a guide, the Holy Spirit. You need a guide, a coach. You need a guide, a mentor. You need someone. And if you don't have anybody around you and you've looked around you, there's nobody, please reach out to me. And if you're in that place where you're thinking, okay, how can I use my story for the greater good? If you're in that place where you're feeling like, how can I use my adversity? Where can I even start with it? How can I use it for the greater good? If you're in that place where you're in that place of you don't know how to start, please reach out to me. Please reach out to me. I want to say that I would hold your hands, I will be your guide, and I will help you on this journey. And then as we begin to wrap up, one of the things I did, and one of the things that has, given me, that made me to stand out in terms of not just standing out, but it has helped me to share my story. One of the things that helped me to share my story and has increased my digital footprint. One of the mediums that has helped me bring my story out to the world is through podcasting. Because I know I had a story, all of the stories I've told you in this particular summit. If you're just joining, I'm just kind of like, we're doing the grand finale of the Beautifully Broken Me Summit 2022. We actually started on Friday. So this is actually the grand finale. And one of the platforms that had helped me, or the platforms where I was able to at least get my unique message out to the world. One of those platforms that had helped me increase my digital footprint and has helped me grow my brand and my audience is through podcasting. And podcasting is something I love. I really enjoy podcasting a lot. I do it. I love it. I love podcasting. I love podcasting because it has helped me to connect with different people from all over the world. So I want to introduce to you. I want to introduce this to you guys. So if you want to, if you're looking for a unique way to spread your message, to get your unique message out to the world, a way to get your message out to the world, I want to encourage you to sign up, because I am going to be starting a podcast bootcamp, and it's going to run for 5 weeks. In this podcast bootcamp, we're going to be uncovering the blueprint to successfully launching your podcast. I'm going to be teaching you the innovative ways to grow your podcast like a pro. I'm going to tell you why many podcasts fail and what to avoid. And we're going to be going through the WWHW. It's actually WWWHW of podcasting. And then the bonus that I would give you for free if you decide to sign up is the basic graphic design. So I'm going to be showing you basic graphic design, and then I'm going to be teaching you professional podcast editing. And one of the reasons why I added this professional podcast editing is such that, yeah, you can outsource your podcast editing, but it's very important for you to know how to edit and know how to edit professionally, so that you can it could also be a means of income, medium of income for you. You can, share it to somebody or help somebody, edit their podcast, and you just get some gig from there and stuff like that. I'm going to be showing you how to edit professionally. If you decide to get into this course, I will teach you some basic graphic design. Those are really bonuses that comes from this course. This is the first time I'm launching a podcast course, and I've been doing podcasting since last year, April of last year, and I have been consistent. I've been doing podcasting for 66 weeks because I have constantly released episodes every single week. Since I started, I have not stopped. And with podcasting, I've been able to connect with over 100 people, over 100 guests from different parts of the world. So I want to encourage you. If you feel like, you know what, I want to take my message out to the world, because the podcast that I started in April, I have almost just a little close to 10,000 listeners from all over the world. 10,000 listeners from all over the world. And I know podcasting is something I love. I love to, it's something that has become my passion. I'm excited about it. I can do it in my sleep. I love it so much. And I don't want to be a monopoly of it. I don't want to keep it to myself. I don't want to keep the knowledge to myself. I knew some of the things I did that did not work, and now I know what I'm doing now that works, and I want to teach you. I want to show you how to do it. But it's definitely something that I am willing to share with you. I am willing to share with you. Like I said, we're going to be, talking about some of the things. Why many podcasts fail. We're going to be looking at the WWHW of podcasting. We're going to be looking at, how to successfully launch your podcast. We're going to be looking at your unique message. What is your unique message? We're going to be looking at, episode frequency, segments, and length. We're going to be looking at all of these incredible things. We are going to be looking at this. We're going to be looking at too many things. I'm going to be showing you some world-class podcast must-haves. Because I was really interested in podcasting, because, for those of you just joining, I've already shared, some of the things, and really, I'm really kind of like looking at all of these things, looking at my life 4 years back when I decided to flee on this particular day, 2018, July 10th of 2018. And if I had not made that decision, there wouldn't have been podcasts, anything. This purpose, this me, you wouldn't have seen it. It wouldn't have been. Because I made that decision, got to the point where it baited all of this good stuff. It baited the summit. We've had 6 incredible speakers over the past 2 days. And then I got to this point where I got to the point where I begin to enjoy what I love to do. And one of the things is podcasting, because it helps me get my message out to the world. It helps me get my message. I am able to connect with people. So if you decide to sign up, we're going to be doing this. I'm going to be showing you what class podcast must-haves. You're going to be showing you how to get this captivating podcast intro, insightful outro, the concept of podcast thriller, the core podcast equipment, and podcast soft music. Those are the things that we're going to be learning. And then I'm going to be showing you how to become a podcast pro. I said, I'm going to repeat that again. I'm going to be showing you how to become a podcast pro, where you become so good at it. And then I'm going to be showing you the magic to becoming a great podcast host, because I think I have a few of my podcast guests here on this IG live. Maybe they're still there. But I'm going to be showing you the magic of becoming a great podcast host, so that anybody who comes on your podcast show, they want to come back again because of that magic that I learned. Then I'm going to be showing you how to be a highly sought after podcast guest. Because even though you're a podcast host and you have a podcast, but you will have to learn the magic of being a guest on someone else's show. You want to learn how to be a highly sought after podcast guest, so that if somebody invites you to their podcast, they want to invite you again because you did something that I want to show you. And then I'm going to be showing you how to get the most out of your podcast guests, so that when they come on your show and you're interacting with them, you want to get the most out of them. These are things I'm going to be showing you in this particular, podcast bootcamp, if you decide to sign up. And like I said, part of the bonus I'll be sharing with you, it's really a bonus. It shouldn't be added, but I just wanted to add it to you. It's basically, I'm going to be teaching you some basic podcast editing and content creating tools. So I'm going to be showing you how to professionally edit your podcast. That should be a fee on its own, but it's kind of going to be inclusive on this. How can you edit your podcast so that you can edit it by yourself? At least, even if you want to sublet it, if you want to, outsource your podcast's editing aspect, you at least learn how to edit. You want to know that, you want to at least know how to edit your podcast. And the reason is because if you know how to edit your podcast, if the person you've outsourced it to is sick or busy or traveled or on vacation or something, you jump on it and you just edit your podcast yourself. Or one of the reason is, if you're editing your podcast yourself, you know what you want to take out and what you want to add. But if somebody's outsourcing it, or you're outsourcing it, or someone else is doing it for you, the person might not exactly know what to add. The person might just use their intuition to do what they want to do. So that's why I want to show you how to edit. And I'm going to be showing you some basic graphic design concepts. And then one of the things I want to show you that I learned is podcast monetization and promotions. How can you monetize your podcast? And then personal brand and personal brand creation. Those are really bonus. That's a lot of bonus, man. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you that. And then that's basically it. Once you're done, we can just go over your intros, your outro, your thriller, and then I'll give you, feedbacks. And that's basically it. And one of the things I'm going to be showing you is what next after launching your podcast. So after launching your podcast, I'm not just going to let you just go like that. I'm going to open your mind to what to expect after launching it. What happens? What do you have to expect? And that's basically what it is. So this course is going to be 5 weeks. So it's a 5 weeks boot camp. It's going to run for 5 Saturdays. I'm hoping to start it July 24th to August 20th. July 24th to August 21st. And it's going to be for a Luru token. It's going to be for a little token, because if I decide to do it for free, you won't take it seriously. And I've seen some of the courses I did that was free, I did not really kind of like it was free. So I didn't take it seriously. So that's why it's going to be for a token. And that's one thing about people. If your money is there, then your mind will be there. If you invested in it, then you have to, really be involved, because at least I paid my money. I don't want to waste my money. And then you're going to be there because you want to get the most out of it. This investment is going to be for, in USD, in US dollar, is going to be for $147.43. But in Naira, it's going to be 64,000 Naira. I will be sharing the link. I'm going to be sharing my seller account link, and I'm going to be sharing the other link. If you are interested, just send me a DM. I want to share this knowledge with you. This is something I do very well, and the world is fast moving. When the world that is fast changing, you cannot afford to not be part of what is going on. You can't. You can't. So the world is fast changing, the world is moving. So everything is really kind of like digital. So I really want to encourage you. My guest is here, so I'm going to, let her come on. Not really, not right now though, but let me just finish. So if it's something you're interested in, if it's something you want to grab, this is something that I enjoyed. And honestly, looking at my life, looking at how it was for me, how bad it was. Those of you watching me on IG, there's no way you can see those clips, because I would have shown you the clip, and I think I'm going to show to all the people who are watching it on YouTube and all of those things. I'm going to show you what I used to look like just 4 years ago. And then you're going to be wowed away. You're going to be like, whoa! You're going to be seeing the transformation as to this me now that you're seeing now. And this could not have happened if not for the grace of God. Honestly, this would not have happened if not for the grace of God. I am so grateful to God. Honestly, I am grateful to God for the journey. It's been incredible. It's been incredible. It has been an amazing journey. But whatever it is that seems like it's dead in your life, whatever it seems that is taking your peace out of you, is choking you, whatever it is, because I was at that place where it felt like my peace was tampered with. I didn't have peace, where I felt like, what is going on? And I had to ask the question. I was like, God, why is peace far-fetched? Why? Why is it that this thing I'm waiting for hasn't come yet? Why is it that everything is just going this here and here and here? Why? I was asking all of those questions. And then he said to me to start up a summit. That was a summit that we're doing the grand finale today, and I'm excited. He said to me to start up this summit, Peace from Broken Pieces. And I hope this summit has really blessed you, because you've been able to see that it's very, very possible to have peace, even when it feels like nothing is working. Because peace is a person. Peace is a person. He is the Prince of Peace. He is absolutely the Prince of Peace. So this summit has really, 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 has been some this summit has been really mind-blowing, incredible, and I am definitely grateful to God for this. So if you're watching me on IG Live, we're just going to be wrapping up right now, because I want to bring on my guests. So if you're watching me and you feel this is really something you're very passionate about, or you want to just kind of like increase your digital footprint and you want to get your message out to the world, I highly recommend podcasting. Because I've connected with podcasting, I've connected to people that I never knew I would have anything to do with ever. But podcast gave me that platform to do that. And I want to teach you all that I know, all the knowledge I know. I want to show you. I want to pour it out to you. I want to show you. I want to teach you how to do it. So please send me a DM. Send me a DM. Okay. I want you all to please join me. Join the rest of the conversation on the Beautifully Broken Me TV on YouTube. It's actually streamed on YouTube. I'm actually double streaming right now. So I'm streaming on IG and then I'm streaming on all of those outlets. So I'm going to be ending this on IG right now. So please join the conversation on YouTube, the Beautifully Broken Me TV. Okay. And or you can join me on any of my on Facebook at the Beautifully Broken Me on Facebook, or Noble IJ on Facebook, or Noble IJ Collections. Okay. So I will be waiting to hear from you guys. We're hoping to start in the next 2 Saturdays. So let me know if it's something you're interested in, and if you're just joining, please catch up the replay. I want to bring on the guest right now who's going to be coming on. So I just want you to take good care of yourself, and I will see you guys, especially those of you on IG, I'm saying. So just stay there, everybody. Don't go. Especially those of you that are watching from all over, YouTube and stuff. But for you guys on IG, I want you to take good care of yourself, and I will see you next time. So just join us, okay? You don't have to just leave from here and just join us on YouTube at Noble. No, join us on YouTube at the Beautifully Broken Me TV, okay? I'll hope to see you guys, the Beautifully Broken Me TV, or join us on Facebook at the Beautifully Broken Me. This is actually streamed over there too, okay? All right, take care, everyone. Take care. Kisses. Bye. Okay, so we're gonna be having just a 2 minutes countdown, and then we will get started. Just 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay, not 2 minutes countdown. 2 minutes break. Okay, so we're gonna be having a 2 minutes break, and then we will get started with the incredible guest that I have. Oh my wow! Just give me 2 minutes, guys. Few seconds to just save this. To just save this IG so that I don't lose it. I'm just going to save it like that. Okay, yes. So we're going to do a 2 minute break. And I'm going to be playing, as usual, my favorite home girl song. So I'm going to be playing my favorite home girl song. And I hope you enjoy it. So just stay tuned, everyone. Found you. I'm not to the point, Lord, since you found me. Now I know what it means to be free, to fulfill destiny. Listen to my story and how there's got a glory. Turn my life around. Wash me and he blessed me. Fill me and he lifted me. Set my feet on higher ground. So now I'm proud you. Ooh, yeah. You. That I'm proud you. Ooh, yeah. I'm found by you.
So many told me of the sins to set me locked and cages to set me free. This is self-improvement and image consultancy. But I tried, but none could touch my soul. Till you came and you took control. Now I can sing it from the rooftop that I'm right. I can say it beyond my heart.
Okay. So that is, oh my goodness, I love this song and I love her so much. She's my incredible friend, NK Maduforo. Please go check her out. I love the song so much, and I'm giving a shout out to NK Maduforo. That's an incredible song. Okay, guys, so before I bring on my guests, we're going to be doing a 2 minutes, 1 minute, actually 1 minute countdown, and then I would bring my guest on. So please just stay tuned.
I'm lovable, I'm unshakable, and so beautiful. I have tried good things, great people. I am worthy to be loved. I'm unstoppable, I am lovable, unshakable, and so beautiful. I have tried good things, great people. I am worthy. You're beautifully broken me. Yeah, da, 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 beautifully broken me. Yeah, you're beautifully broken me. Yeah, da, 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 beautifully broken me. Yeah, yeah. I'm a queen, I am royalty. My scars don't define me. I'll never stop, I'll keep moving on, moving to the top. Yeah, I'm on a journey. I can. Beautifully broken. I'm unstoppable, I'm lovable, I'm unshakable, and so beautiful. I have tried good things, great people. I am worthy to be loved. I'm unstoppable, I am lovable, unshakable, and so beautiful. I have tried good things, great people. I am worthy. You're beautifully broken me. Yeah, da, 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 beautifully broken me. Yeah, you're beautifully broken me. Yeah, da, 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 beautifully broken me. Yeah, yeah. I'm a queen, I am royalty. My scars don't define me. I'll never stop, I'll keep moving on, moving to the top. Yeah, I'm on a journey. I cannot be.
Hello, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back from that very quick break, and gonna be bringing on the guest for today. Whew, it's been an incredible weekend. It's been an incredible how many days? 2 past days. We've had 6 incredible speakers on this event. Whew, it's been knowledge overload, and honestly, please don't waste all of this knowledge. Like, put it into use them. Go watch the replay again, watch them, take notes, and use them. Please use those things. Use all of those knowledge you've gained. Use them for the greater good. Use them to help humanity. Use them Use them, please. Don't waste it. And I want to be bringing on this incredible guest. She's no other person but the amazing Beatrice Christopher, Queen B. Honestly, like guys, regardless, like I've had speakers on this platform who came on despite whatever the situation came up to be, they still decided, you know what, I will show up regardless. Like it's insane, the love. And this is just because they wanted to share their wisdom with the world. I am incredibly grateful. And QueenBea is just one of those people. She's a resilient and mind reset coach. She's somebody that you just talk to. In the next minute, she's resetting your mind. Your mind is being reset. Like, how did God bless me with all of these people? There's no way I would have met these people if I had not made that decision I made. That decision I made. The decision of July 10 of 2018, I wouldn't have met people like this. And I'm incredibly grateful to God that I made that decision. If you don't know what that decision is, please go watch the replay of this video. So everyone needs QueenBea in their life. We call her QueenBea. That's, just call her for short QueenBea. QueenBea is the principal CEO of the Evolving Life UK. QueenBea is an event consultant, youth coordinator, and she is a certified motivational speaker. QueenBea had spoken at different events, workshops, and seminars. She's passionate about helping middle-aged women and young people go through challenging situations. She helps them go from challenging situation to becoming their authentic self, having survived domestic violence herself. QueenBea foresees a future where every individual will have the opportunity to live a happy and vibrant life, where they love every aspect of them. QueenBea is a formidable force, guys. Her positivity is very contagious. We truly appreciate this incredible guest. Like I am so blown away that that I came in contact with her in this journey of life. And I want to welcome you, QueenBea, and I want to say welcome to Brokenness Summit 2020.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm going to be moving. I'm not a stagnant person. God did not create me to be stagnant, so I'm going to be moving. So thank you so much. I love you so much. It's only you that could bring me out on a day like this. And that's because you're special. Thank you
so much for this.
Now, hello everyone. How are you? So I'm here to talk about your crown. I don't know what happened there. I'm here to talk about owning your crown. This simply means whatever situation you find yourself, whatever trauma you may have gone through. I'm here to tell you something. I'm going to shock you guys today. I'm in a hospital. Yeah? But I'm still showing up. I'm in a hospital where the situation is critical, but I still have to show up because I found out my mandate. I found out my God-given purpose. Let me just take off my glasses right now, because when I get into it, yes, I'm also a survivor of domestic abuse. Yes, I'm a survivor of various traumas. Various. I don't even want to start naming one. And I'm still in it. I'm still in it. But you know what? There are lives out there to be touched. There are people waiting to be touched. There are people waiting for you to change their lives. Maybe one word. Maybe one word. Maybe this seminar is for one person. That one person who is on the bridge of doing something that they're not supposed to do. Or that one person who is about to make a certain decision, but they're not sure. They're afraid. Let me tell you now, Nobulaija has been through it. She survived it. I don't know what it is that you may be going through. You are more than a conqueror. I became who I am because of who I was, because of what I went through. What I went through is not my label, but what I went through propelled me. Like I tell people, God will set you up into your God-given purpose. So if you know what you're supposed to be doing or you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, you come to the right place. We've had speaker number 1, speaker number 2, speaker number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. Come on. And I'm number 7. And I still showed up despite a member of my family on critical care. I showed up. People say, you don't need to go there, you don't need to. Then I remember that the enemy is here to kill, steal, and destroy, and distract you from your purpose. But what I give to God, God is taking care of it. So I'm here, I'm showing up because I need to show up for you. I need to show up for me. Own that thing that God has asked you to do. Own it. Be the person you are. Be the better version of yourself. And guess what? Some people are still a bit confused about who they want to be or what not. God put coaches down. Whatever you want to be. I always say my motto is speaking is healing. Speak up about it. Speak about any situation. Just speak. But speak to the right people. And you've got coaches. You've got podcasters. Noble IJ, amazing. She would empower you. She would empower you to the best of the best of the best. Because this is what God has given us. God mandated me. Because each time I go to do something else, guess what happens? It does not work. God pushes me back to what he mandated me to do. You think I haven't tried a lot of passions, a lot of things that I see people doing? I want to do that, I want to do that, and I go and try it, and I fall flat on my face because that's not what God asked me to do. This is what God asked me to do. To mentor young people and to coach women. And believe you me, there's so much out there. We're not even enough. You see how big the sky is? We need more coaches. We need more podcasters. We need more speakers. We need more everything. A coach will help you to get to where you want to get to hold your hand. Some people have an idea, but they don't know how to. This is why a coach is in your life. I owned everything that I went through. I am owning. I am owning what I'm going through. Let me just tell you now, my daughter is in critical care, but I'm here speaking, I'm showing up. You know why? Because he that called me, he that sent me will take care of my own. Because I know that he sent me. But I've come here to speak to somebody. Your purpose is your legacy. What will be said about you after you've gone? What will be said about you? What impact are you going to make to your next door neighbor? What is your impact going to be? What are you going to tell people? What are they going to say about you? She came, she went. Whose life did you touch? When Christ was living, he said, love your neighbor. Guess who your neighbor is? Everybody. And guess how you show love? Caring, helping. That's love. By living a life of purpose, because that purpose is not yours. Your purpose is for somebody else. Just like I keep telling myself, everything I'm doing now is for somebody else. Everything I've gone through, I went through it so that I can be able to stand up for somebody else. I did not go through it for myself. Yes, I felt the pain, but guess what? I know. And I know what to say, what to do, how to do it, how to say it. Because I've been through it. You name it, I've been through it. If I start to name what I've been through, we will not go home tonight. But I show up. And whenever I show up, the one that sent me is always in front of me. The one that sent me speaks for me. The one that sent me is around me. And the one that sent me protects me and my own. So no matter what the enemy tries to bring, during your course of purpose, during your mandate, just know that number one is a distraction, and distraction is not of the Lord's. I'm a believer of Christ. I'm a follower of Christ. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter of Christ. So I will mention Christ. No apologies there. He sustained me. He brought me to where I am today. He saved my daughter's life. Because initially I was canceling this event. I canceled it because of what happened. And something sparked into me. There are lives to be touched. This is a distraction. Listen, I am of Christ. So therefore there is no condemnation. So I refuse and I rebuke any form of distraction in my life. I don't care what it is. As long as God is for me, nothing can happen. If God be for you, who can be against you? Nobody. And that's what I said to myself. I am more than a conqueror. I live by affirmations. I live by the words that I tell myself every day. They don't just call me the resilient woman for nothing. It's because each time they punch me, I come back. Each time I get punched, I come back. And I come back stronger. And I'm telling you today, you can be the same. You can be stronger. You can be better. You can be bolder. You are courageous. Own your purpose. And if you don't know, speak to a coach. I owned my crown. Yes, I accept. I've been through ABC. It does not stop me from being whoever I'm supposed to be. I own my crown. I own it with pride because that is why I am who I am today. Going through everything that I've gone through and still in has made me, guess what? Courageous. I tell myself, you are more than a conqueror, QueenBea. You are a bringer of joy. You are an epitome of beauty. You are phenomenal. I am phenomenal. I know I'm phenomenal. Guess what? So are you. Christ paid the price so that we may not have to go through it. And once you are under that mindset that you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. So whatever it is that you want to do, even if it's you want to get out of that situationship, get out. Take no prisoners. Just get out. I'm not about breaking homes. I'm not about breaking anything, but I'm talking about everything that you shouldn't be in, that you're in. And you know you shouldn't be in it. Get out. What if that's limiting you from achieving your purpose? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about the situation? Are you at that job whereby you're not happy, you're not growing, but you're there? Why are you there? You're taking a lot of insults, but you're there. Why are you there? You could do better. See yourself as a can do. I can do. I can do. See yourself as a can do. Somebody pen that down. I can do. I can do. Recover from whatever you've gone through. Recover. These are the three things that I tell my three mottos. Recover from whatever situation. After you've recovered, guess what? You discover who you are. And then you discover who you are. Recover, discover, and guess what the last one is? Legacy. So you recover from your situation, because everybody's got one trauma or the other. Nobody can tell me they ain't got a trauma or something that they need to recover from. Recover from it. If you don't know your purpose, if you don't know who you are, the only way you can find out who you are is from recovering from that situation. Once you recover from it, how do you recover? You speak to the right people. You speak to whoever you need to speak to. If you need therapy, go. Counseling, go. Coach, go. Don't be ashamed. Put your shame to shame, like one of my favorite coaches. Put that shame that you think you have, put it to shame. What is it that has happened to you that has not happened to somebody else? Put all those things to shame, because shame kills. Shame kills the body, the spirit, the soul, the mind. Shame. Get rid of it. Flush it down the toilet. Put it in the toilet and flush it out. Flush it. Get rid of it. Put that shame to shame. Let that shame be ashamed. You get? That's why I own my crown. If you want to say, oh, you're divorced, yes, so? Would you rather I die? What else do you want to say? You're single. Yeah, it's my choice. What else do you want to tell me? I've told myself that already. So there's nothing you can tell me that will harm me. I know who I am. I am a child of God. I know who I am. I roar like the lion. That is who I am. The daughter of the lion. That's who I am. So I roar. I come roaring. I know my purpose. Each time I'm doing something and the enemy wants to attack. All I need to do, because I know the plans of the enemy is to steal, kill, and destroy. So I've got your weapon in my hands. I know what you want to do to me. Guess what? It ain't working, and it will never work, because I have your weapon. I have your weapon. I know who I am. Get thee behind me. What are you? What? Is that it? Is this what you want to do? Is that it? Please. I speak into my life. I speak into my children's life. I speak into anybody's life that I meet. I always speak. Speaking is healing. God spoke and things happen. God spoke, ABC happened. I can do. 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 And so can you. If I am here speaking to you, despite the situation that I'm in, that's to tell you that the one that sent me will not allow anything to be in my way of what he sent me to do. Come on. Learn how to get into that your purpose. We've had how many speakers? 6. I'm the 7th, I believe. Are you just going to be listening and listening and listening? Implement what you've learned. Don't be a serial learner. Don't be a serial learner. Don't be constipated with ideas. Give birth. Give birth to it. Give birth to your purpose. Give birth to that idea. You're thinking of something. Nothing is stupid. Let me just tell you now, there's no thought in your head that is stupid. Speak it out. Give birth to it. If you don't know how to go about it, that's where a coach comes in. And let me just tell you, when people say, oh, the coaches are too much, have you seen how big the sky is? Have you seen how big are the clouds fighting? There's enough room. The universe multiplies it. So guess what? If you're putting out negative things, the universe will multiply that negativity for you. Oh, I don't know how I do. I don't even like. What? When he died for you, he made you perfect. You don't like what about yourself? You don't like doing this. You don't like doing that. Stop speaking negativity into your life. That same tongue that you're using to speak negativity, guess what? Positivity. Use it to speak positivity, because the tongue is powerful. So what you say come to pass. So what do you want to be? Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Get up. Wake up in the morning. I can do. I can do. I can do. I will. I will. I will. I will. Affirm. Affirm, affirm, affirm into your life. Speak to yourself. I speak to myself a lot. I ask myself questions because I am accountable to the one that sent me. So I ask myself questions. Who are you accountable to? Because you're not accountable, that's why you're not proceeding. That's why you're not being intentional. Who are you accountable to? Do you have an accountability partner? Do you have a coach that you're accountable to? Is a question that I'm asking you. You need to be accountable. Excuse the noise. You need to be accountable. You need to give birth to your purpose, because let me tell you, when that happens and something happens, that's it. There's no coming back. It takes that, and the person's gone. And what is going to be in your dash? Like another of my mentors says, what is going to be in your dash? Born, so, till, so. What is that dash? Are they going to talk about you 1 week after? Are they going to talk about you the next day? What impact? Because we are going to be accountable to the one that created us and sent us. We all have a purpose. Own, and own. Own your purpose. Own whatever trauma you've been through. Own it and move on from it. Yes, I've been through it. So, therefore, I am stronger, wiser. Lessons learned. Take lessons learned. Take lessons learned from whatever. A job that you never liked, a job that you were traumatized, you've left there or you want to leave. Take the lessons. Take the lessons and know that you're not going to go to another job that you will see ABC. Know that you're not going to go into another relationship that you will see ABC. Do your research before you get into something. Do your research. Don't base your happiness on somebody else. Base your happiness on you. You are in charge of yourself. Don't be happy because somebody makes you happy. That's false. That's false. Whoever's been telling you that, I'm happy because you're in this relationship now, that this person is making you happy. That's false. Make yourself happy. Be expectant to yourself. Don't give that to somebody else. That's very unfair. Own it. Own your happiness. Own your resilience. Own everything about you. Because you are the only one that God created. You are unique. Even twins have a little, similar twins, they have a difference. Own your uniqueness. Because God that created you gave you and only you something. That's why they do thumbprints, because everybody's thumbprint is different. Own your uniqueness. I'm owning mine. It took me a lot. I went round and round. You know when you're going round in a circle? Just going round. No direction. I was there until I got closer to the one that called me. And I sought help. From coaches. And they helped me. They supported me. You need that in your life. Whatever you think you're passionate about, whatever you believe that you like secretly, because a lot of people like things secretly and they don't want to talk about it. Guess what? That your secret like, your secret passion is God, though. It's God, though. Your secret passion is God. Please own your crown. That is my crown, because we are all sons of the King. And so what? That means you have a crown on your head. Own it. That's basically what it is. Owning your crown is owning your purpose. Dealing with everything that is around you, knowing who you are. Yes, we've been through the worst. Yes, but you are alive. Some people are not alive. So you are alive for a reason. Own it, girl. Own it, guy. Somebody's waiting. Somebody's life is depending on your life. Somebody's life is depending on what you're going to say, what you're going to do. Are you ready to save a life today? That's the question I have for you. Are you ready to save a life today? Because by you living in your purpose, owning your crown, you're touching one person's life. By you touching one person's life, you're saving a life. Because that person will live on to flourish. So don't be selfish. Own your crown. Put it properly on your head, like I have. If my hair is in my way, I got rid of my hair so I can live my life purposefully. I don't care. I'm all about purpose. I'm all about focusing. I'm all about being intentional. Nothing. Do not let anything distract you. Whatever you put out there, you manifest. I meditate a lot. I'm all about meditating. Meditate on a word. Meditate on a scripture a day. It goes a long way. You just try it. It goes far. See that peace? You have peace when you're living a purposeful life. You have peace when you own your crown. You have peace because you're not accountable to anybody else than God. And you know that you're living in the purpose that He has called you. Do it, because any moment it might get taken away. Any moment the lights might get switched off. What is going to be in your dash? What is going to be in your dash? What is going to be in your dash? Live a life of purpose. Don't worry if you've got 1 billion people doing it. Who cares? You're doing yours. And let me just tell you something. People will be critical of whatever you do. So stop waiting for the right thing to do so that people will not say anything. People will be critical of whatever you do. Number one, because they're envious. They wish they can do it. So because they can't do it, they will be critical. And the enemy, guess what? Wants to put you down. They can start commenting on what you look like, what you dress like, what you... Don't let that block your purpose. It's all about your purpose, girl. It's all about your purpose, guy. And it's all about that life that you're meant to be touching, that life that you're meant to be saving. I yield myself to the one that sent me purposefully. I yield myself by owning my crown. Are you going to yield yourself today? Are you going to yield yourself today? Are you going to own your crown? I will, and I will. That's it for me. Thank you so much. Noble IJ, I appreciate you. You're 1 in a million. You're my sister. You're everything. You're my best friend. You're my twin. I come to you when I need stuff. You look at me, you call me mama, and I say, stop calling me mama. Don't make me look old. Hey, I'm still young. I love you so much. And it's only you that could bring me out. Today is only you. So thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for allowing me to be of purpose. Thank you for allowing God to use me on this day. I bless you. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much, QueenBea. Guys, can you please show QueenBea some love?
Thank you.
Like, honestly, can you please show QueenBea some love? Just throw it on the chat. Like, she had this sudden emergency that I don't know if I would even be able to. I possibly would have been like, no, I can't do this. I can't speak on this event because of what just happened. You know, from being at the hospital and still sharing her wisdom. Like, I just really want to say thank you, QueenBea. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Especially like, you know, when you shared about, you know, what would be in your dash.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when we are done with this race, what will be remembered of us? What will be remembered of us? I just really want to say thank you. Thank you so much. Regardless of whatever the situation is, you decided to share your wisdom to the world because I know somebody got something from what you shared. And one of the things that what you've done has taught me, because we had other speakers, one had really very terrible cold and he still showed up. The other speaker was on transit and he was actually, you know, going from, he still showed up and he was, it was some, like, I don't know, I'm just really like, wow, thrilled as to what these incredible speakers are doing just because of impacting lives. That's just the passion I see, the love I see.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you so much, QueenBea.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone. God bless you.
Thank you. Whoa, guys, it's really, really, really like, whoa, incredible show of love. It's people who wants to impact. Like, it's just there in them. They just want to share their wisdom. What will be in your dash? And I'm just asking myself when she said it, I'm like, what would be in my dash? If I had died when I wanted to take my life in 2018, it's just today, like I shared before, right? Actually, is an anniversary, more like of Thanksgiving to God. Exactly 4 years today, I made that decision. Whether or not I want to be abused, whether or not I want to constantly be in that place of torture, or to get out of there. I made that decision. So what if I had not made that decision? What would have been in my dash? What would have been in my dash? I mean, I'm really incredibly grateful to God. And I'm asking you, I'm incredibly grateful to God because I fled, because I did not stay there, because He has used that mess to become a message. My mess has become a message. So I'm going to be bringing in the next speaker. Like, honestly, guys, just get ready, get your notes. She's an incredible teacher. You will learn so much from her great wealth of wisdom. She's somebody I respect so much. And I won't take so much time. We will be taking just 1 minute break. Just 1 minute. 1 minute break, guys. So just stay there. Don't go anywhere. 1 minute break, okay? And then we'll be taking 1 minute break. And then when we come back, we can take another 1 minute countdown. And then I will bring on my last speaker for today. I will see you guys in a bit. Okay? So let's just take this 1 minute break. And it's just going to be same signature song for this event. My homegirl, NK Maduforo, brand new. Okay? Let's.
I am brand new now that I found you. More to the point, Lord, since you found me. Now I know what it means to be free, to fulfill destiny. Listen to my story and how there's God of glory. Turn my life around. Said He washed me and He blessed me, filled me and He lifted me, set my feet on higher ground. So now I'm brand new. Ooh, yeah. You. That I'm brand new. Ooh, yeah. I'm found by you.
Yes, we are ready. I am brand new. That is the song. Go look it up on YouTube. I will be putting the link on here so you can just click on it and watch it, listen to it. Something jumps on me whenever I listen to this song because it says I am brand new. And of course you are. Okay, you are brand new. You are brand new every single day. You are new, right? So now I will be bringing on the last speaker for today. I am excited. I am thrilled. And I'm just going to be bringing her on right now. We will be taking a countdown, 1 minute countdown. Maybe let's do an half an hour countdown. And then I'll be bringing her on. Okay, let's just do 30 seconds countdown. Okay, guys. Okay. Welcome. I I just want to welcome you guys to the grand finale of the Beautifully Broken Me Summit 2022. Honestly, I am excited. You know why? I'm alive, right? That's a good reason to be excited. I'm excited because, hey, the enemy planned to delete me from the face of the earth like sometime in 2018. But you know what? They didn't know that I was just planted. They didn't know that, this is just the beginning. And I'm really grateful to God because I give him all the credit as I bring on my guest. But before I bring her on, I will be reading her bio. Honestly, guys, I just want you with a shout, showing all the love, the incredible, phenomenal Dr. Linda Ago. She is, honestly, she's phenomenal and she's incredible. And one of the things that's really kind of like one thing, please follow her on Instagram. Like, just I am Dr. Linda Ago. Just go follow her right now. She's so dead to me. You know why? Because when I was going through all of those stories I told you guys earlier, if you don't know those stories, please go watch this replay. Okay. So she was one person that really stuck her head out to me. Like she really like took all the bullets. When somebody, when somebody is taking bullets for you, even though they're like, sometimes their inner critic might want to be like, are you sure of this girl you're standing for? Are you sure? And she's like, yes, I will take the bullet for her any day, anytime. I know she is somebody I respect so much, so much. She took the bullet for me. She defended me. She's like a mother to me. I love her so much. Please show her some love. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Show her some love. Show her some love. Like, she's incredible. She's phenomenal. So, I want you to meet Dr. Linda Ago. She's an integrative transformational coach. She helps abused women, victims of gender-based violence and victims of trauma. She actually helps this set of people discover and rediscover themselves so that they can become a better version of themselves. She often uses NLP and EFT techniques to assist her clients to navigate the path through her unique curative technique. Dr. Linda Ago uses NLP, neuro linguistic programming, and then the emotional freedom technique. She kind of uses it to assist her clients to navigate their path through her unique curative techniques. Dr. Linda is super compassionate. Like, she has such a large heart. She's super, super, super compassionate about women, knowing their values and empowering others with their uniqueness. She's an incredible force to reckon with. She's an incredible force to reckon with and absolutely loving and compassionate. To know Dr. Linda is to love her. In her exact word, everyone deserves to live their life free from abuse. She's super compassionate about, like, super empathetic when it comes to abuse and trauma. I can go on and on and on, but I want to bring her on, honestly. And she said that it gives me great joy when I see women. I don't know what happened to this. She says, it gives me great joy when I see women who have been abused get up, stand up. Women who have been once beaten by the vicissitude of life. She says it gives her great joy to see these women live up their lives in a way that is originally intended. Live up their lives in a way that's, like, honestly, watching me do this, I know she's so happy for me because she's like a proud mom, and I really want to say thank you, Dr. Linda. I want to officially welcome you to this, the Beautiful Broken Summit 2022. Welcome, Dr. Linda.
Thank you so much, IJ. Thank you. I appreciate you. Can you hear me very well?
Yes.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I don't take it for granted. And I want to celebrate you for this phenomenal summit. I've been watching a couple of days, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the woman you have become. I thank you for taking that bold step to impact lives. I want to celebrate all the amazing speakers that spoke before me. I was really, really blessed, and I celebrate all of them.
Thank you.
And today, I don't want to waste your time. I'm speaking on the topic, Peace from Broken Pieces. As you've heard from my bio, anything that has to do with women just excites me. And when I see women that are not doing well, not doing well in the sense that they are stuck in life, not able to achieve their purpose, it makes me sad. It gives me a reason to wonder why, what is holding them back, because I was in that state. And Peace from Broken Pieces, first and foremost, I want to tell you a story. If my life was a book and I am the author, how would I want to end the story? How would I want the story to end? So this was a question that Amy Purdue asked herself when she realized that her legs were not ever going to come back again for the rest of her life. This was a 19-year-old girl that had her dreams were to be snowboarding and be traveling all around the world. And then at age 19, something happened. She contracted a deadly strain of bacterial meningitis, which is a vaccine preventable blood infection, which made her stay in a medically induced coma for about 2 weeks with less than 2% chance of surviving. So over the 2.5 months, Amy lost her spleen, she lost her kidney, she lost hearing in her left ear. Follow me, I'm going somewhere. She woke up from surgery one day just to find out that her legs were gone. Hold a minute. Imagine if you were a writer or a drummer or a painter. You had to use your hands to do your skills. And you wake up one day, you slept and woke up one day, and you are told that you will never be able to use your arms again. Your arms are gone. It's such a rude shock. I try to put it's such a rude awakening. Amy's life took a complete turnaround. Every moment, every people around her, they told her she would never be able to snowboard again. She would never be able to do the things she wanted to do before, the traveling. But one thing Amy did, she set a new vision for herself. Right from the hospital bed, when she was hearing all those negative words, she will never be able to do it. And 7 months later, Amy went from that state of not being able to do anything of what she was told. She built a prosthetic foot for herself. She's a top-ranked female adaptive snowboarder in the US and a 3-time World Cup snowboard gold medalist and a 2018 Paralympic silver and bronze medalist. You can go check the story up. I didn't make it up. So enough of Amy. Let me tell you about Linda Agu. The Linda Agu you see today, it's not the same Linda Agu many years ago. I got married, fell in love with the hope of living happily ever after, as we all dream to have, right? But I found out I was being abused. After 10 years, that's when I found out, that's when I realized. My whole life, my whole existence was shattered. I lost my self-esteem. I lost everything about me. And I had relocated down. My ex had married me in Africa and brought me down to the US. So I'd migrated down here. And seeing myself being abused and realizing what my situation was, I was depressed. I was suicidal. I had suicidal ideations and suicidal tendencies. I developed medical conditions. So many things happened to me. I lost my bearing. And don't forget, I just came into the car, I just migrated. So my immigration papers were still not completed. So I thought of what's going to happen to me. I'm going to be part of the statistics that of the women that they bring from Africa, and then they set. I heard all those things that I'll be part of the statistic that will set my husband, my ex, up and all that. But I decided that at the point when I was suicidal, I was taken to the hospital, and I told myself, Linda, why? My question was why, and I had reasons, genuine reasons. I studied medicine back in Africa. I'm a graduate of the College of Medicine of University of Calabar, Nigeria. And my intention was to come here, live with my husband, practice medicine in the specialty that I was interested in, which was obstetrics and gynecology. So this is me. I am not practicing. I'm not taking my licensing, but this is me. I'm a shame and a disgrace to my family. This is me. I'm a shame and disgrace to the church. This is me. So many. How do I start my life? How do I tell people what has happened to me? My life was taking a spiral and I was almost dying when I now heard that God can still turn things around. And I heard that from a TV station when I just turned on a TV station and I heard this man of God preaching. It was a woman first preaching. It was as if she was talking to me, as if she knew what I was going through. And she said, there's someone listening to me. He must have gone through this, he must have gone through that. I mean, she was like reading my script. It says, there's still hope for you. Things can still turn around. It was a gospel message that says, the Lord makes a way in the wilderness, this. I'm like, oh my God, these people, they've come. Something inside of me told me she was referring to me, but something inside again, another feeling said, no, it's just a coincidence. So I flipped the channel to another channel. Excuse me. On flipping the channel, it was a guy that was preaching now. And the guy that was preaching said almost the same thing, as if they were reading the same script. Excuse me. About somebody here that gone through a major life-changing experience and wants to give up, but the person shouldn't give up. There's hope. Hang on there. And immediately I knew that this message was for me. Right there and there, I made up my mind. I said, Linda, I'm not going to kill myself. I'm going to walk and wait until God shows himself. How he's going to do it, I don't know. The major reason I decided to share the story with you is so that you understand that there is no glory without story. Again, there is no glory without a story. Everybody has a story. But most times people don't want to share their story because of the shame of being gaslighted, because of the embarrassment, the shame and everything. Everyone, because when I went through that, I was carrying a big cloak of shame hanging around my neck. Every time anyone looked at me, I was like, oh, they're looking at me. I'm a divorcee. I'm a single. I'm single now. I left my husband. This, that. I was carrying a big cloak of shame until God had to strip me of that shame. There were times I didn't have a job now. I didn't have a source of income. I had to leave the house. There were times I was just confused. I didn't even have a place to stay. I lived in my car for some time. Thank God for Dunkin' Donut. Dunkin' Donut was my food, morning, afternoon, evening. I had no place to go. And I'm like, how will I continue? I lived in my car for weeks. Until a family came and helped me. And the family came and decided, God bless that family. And they decided they will help me with some form of accommodation. In the midst of those challenges, I remember I had a dream. When I was growing up, I had a dream over 30 years ago. I saw myself speaking in front of women, impacting women's lives, and giving women hope, and giving women courage, and helping women that couldn't move, helping them, women that felt stuck, helping them to get unstuck, encouraging, a source of encouragement. And I don't know what else I was talking about. I found the women were so happy. They came to me, oh, thank you so much for that speech. Many, many years ago, before my uni days, I always used to have that dream. And I used to put it at the side, but when is that kind of dream? And then when I had that dream again, in the midst of all this, I'm like, God, where is that going to happen? I'm trying barely to eat. To eat was difficult. To pay accommodation, oh my God, that was an accommodation that I now finally got an accommodation. I remember one time I got an accommodation of $650. I had to beg the man. God bless that guy. I begged him. I paid him 3 times to pay a rent of $650. There is no glory without a story. So I came up. That dream came up again. I'm like, God, why this dream at this time? And God was trying to. It was like a puzzle. God says, this is what you're going to be doing. So I kept pushing through it. I kept pushing through and looking for a way to heal myself from my broken pieces. So here am I today. I'm talking to you. I'm in this conversation. I'm on this table with IJ and other phenomenal speakers because of my story. I want to ask you, dear friend, where do you want to be today? It may look as if your story may not be as may not be a story like something must have affected your life must have gone through one form of trauma or the other. What are you doing with your pain? Or has the current challenge thrown you into a situation where you're off your track? You've left all your dreams. You've left your creativity. I hope Amy's story and my story can ignite and inspire you to stop wallowing in self-pity, because that's one of the things I was doing. I was so sorry for myself. Even when I go to the mall, I would see someone, I was telling people my story. I wanted people to feel sorry for me. I'm not the problem. I wasn't the problem. It's somebody else that was a problem. But I was wallowing in self-pity and it did me no good. What helped Amy was living her dream. What helped us to live our dream was the power of imagination. So while I was still there in that state, confused, broken, shattered, and I saw myself living this dream of speaking to women and giving women hope. In the midst of it, I saw myself speaking in United Nations Assembly, talking about domestic violence, talking about how women can rise to the table, talking about how women can gain influence in all the different mountains of influence. Amy imagined herself walking gracefully, using her story to help and inspire others. And today I sit down, before I used to ask God, why me? Why did I have to go through all that I went through? But I'm standing today, my questioning has changed. And say, God, thank you for making me go through that. Because I have been, my story has exposed me, has brought me to tables that I'm not even, I wasn't even supposed to be there. Because of my story, I've reached on. And the more I tell my story to other women, the more I see women coming in. Oh, I just came back from, went for a conference last month, where I was given an opportunity to speak with women in the ALO conference, African Women Leadership Organization, in Las Vegas last month. And by the time I finished I was just 5 minutes. I just talking to my story. I had like 6 women come out. Oh, I want to talk to you. I can identify with what you're saying. I went through this. I saw that there were many, many women in that conference that had gone through similar story, but they didn't know how to move past their shame. They didn't know how to move past their pain. But now, Amy, she just did not just imagine alone. She had the sense of actually feeling what it would be like. The intensity of the wind blowing her heart, and how she's going to do her snowboarding, and how she's going to travel again. And that is what I did to myself. I saw myself breaking up from my broken pieces. And there's a song that I used to sing that time, that the potter wants to put you back together again. I'm a person of faith. And that's what I did. I had to run back to God. Just like the prodigal son, I ran back to God. I told God, if you can use me one more time, Lord, help me, help my broken pieces. I want to tell you about a phenomenon called the kintsugi phenomenon. Kintsugi is KINTSUGI phenomenon. Another word for the kintsugi phenomenon is you join with gold. So it's a Japanese philosophy where the Japanese ornament is broken, and instead of just discarding it, they use a piece of strips of gold powder, to join all the broken pieces. And the broken ornament comes back out with a beautiful value. So in the kintsugi phenomenon, they see beauty and the complete value in anything that is broken. So you can think that a thing is broken, but because by the time you put the gold on it, it joins the piece and the piece becomes more beautiful. It's a reminder to stay optimistic. When things fall apart, and like they say, the center cannot hold, you can celebrate your flaws and missteps, and life can begin to have meaning again. It's not just about mending the broken pieces. That's not what the philosophy is all about. It's a profound teaching that you can apply towards life, that it fosters the idea that a broken object can still be repaired and be made useful once again. And in fact, by the time you put the gold dust on the object becomes of greater value. It tells us that we can always begin transforming our life irrespective of what we've been through. First, the healing must come from the mind. And by that, I mean first forgiving yourself. Or the worst thing that can ever happen to you is not to forgive yourself. I blame myself. I said, Linda, you saw the red flags. Why didn't you know? Of course, there were red flags, but I was so oblivious. I was so much in love. I did not see. So the first step I did, after going back to God in prayer, asking God to forgive me where I'd gone wrong, I had to forgive myself. I had to heal my mind. I had to ask God to heal my mind from everything that had clouded my mind. And then God started walking his steps towards me. The best part of this kintsugi phenomenon I like is that it never diminishes the fact that the container or the ornament is broken. No. We are not negating the fact that the container is broken. I'm not saying that you didn't go through trauma. Yes, the trauma is real, it's valid. And there's a scar. Mine was not of physical abuse, mine was a psychological abuse. And psychological abuse, they last longer because you don't see it. Yes, it's broken, there's a scar. But as the beautifully unique design that exists, the world can still see something beautiful out of the scar. The world can still see something beautiful out of the damaged product. The normal thing in life is we tend to hide when we go through problems. We tend to hide our flaws. In church, I couldn't sit when they said that God hates divorce in the church. I was restless. I couldn't fit in. I saw myself as a misnomer. I was in the wrong place. Because every time I go to church, I keep on here, God hates the divorce. Yes, God hates the divorce, but God also loves the divorcee. That's what people forget to know. Because I felt, God, if you hate the divorce, then you hate me forever. And God says, no, I love the divorcee. I hate divorce. That is not God's plan for me. We tend to hide our flaws. We tend to hide our broken past. But once we start cherishing it, now I own a badge. I celebrate it. I am happy. I stand with people that have gone through trauma. I stand with people that have been abused. I stand with victims of domestic violence. And I tell them that love, everybody deserves to have love in there. Nobody deserves a relationship full of hurt or pain or abuse. And that's why my message for women is, everybody has a fragrance of influence. Once you know that fragrance of influence, even if this is let's assume this is $100 bill. You pick it up, someone gives you the $100 bill, takes it back from you, squeezes it, trash it, does whatever, even tears it. It doesn't reduce the value of the $100 bill. If you take it back to the bank, it's still a legal tender. It still carries the value of the $100. So because life has beaten you, and that's the lie of the devil, because you've been beaten by stress, you've gone through one issue or the other, you're now being labeled, you label yourself, you take the labeling from others, and you feel that you have no value. You still have your value, you still carry influence, you still carry your influence. Kintsugi is not about hiding, like I said, it's about accepting what you've gone through. and knowing that this is going to help somebody else. By me showing up with my pain, by me showing up with my story. Like I said, everybody has a story, but nobody wants to share their story. By me showing up with my story, I've been able, since I started this recovery journey, I've been able to help a lot of women to find out, even men to find out that, you know what, life does not just end there because you've got a problem or you've passed through trauma. You can rewrite your story. It's about accepting it, accepting what you've gone through and move on. Yes, we need to move on. It's about finding beauty in life, in whatever you've gone through. It's about appreciating the journey, even when it is complicated. I appreciate the journey. I see what, now when a woman has gone through domestic violence, is talking, I know what the person is talking about. I can feel, I can relate because I've been there. It's my authentic self. It's my unique scar that I have compared to someone who has not gone through that. I kept telling myself, I started doing affirmations and telling myself, the world will see the light in me. This is not the end of my story. My story does not end here. I'm going to make the best out of it. So use your imagination as a tool to break whole all the borders, all the barriers the enemy has put on you, and get to work. Don't let your pain keep you in the backseat. Get up, face your fears. What is the worst thing that can happen? Yes, people will say, like QueenBea said, people say, oh, yeah, oh, no, oh, don't you know, Linda? That's the one. You know, when you have problems, the war, or when you go through trauma or through issue, the world does not remember your name. They call you by the problems. Oh, you don't know Linda. Oh, that's the one that left the husband. That's the one that is divorced. Oh, that's the one that lost her husband. Oh, that's the one that the child had this. People call you by the name of your problem. But you must face your fears. You must not let your fears hold you down. You must try and make up your mind to live the life you desire. You can be anything you want to be if you decide to. It's not a cliche. It's not. The major reason I decided to share this with you is that so you understand again that there is no glory without a story. What is exactly holding you today? The writer, Yala Vanzat, wrote something. When you have something to do, life will not allow you move forward until you do it. Now, this passion of speaking to women or speaking to people that have gone through, that have been broken through one form of trauma. And again, trauma could be, it doesn't have to be domestic violence. It could be loss of a loved one. It could be medical challenges. It could be anything, any form of challenge. I've been taught that myself, that people around me, you know, not everybody, I don't care for everybody's opinion. What I care is that I'm making peace. I'm using my pain to serve humanity. So I want to advise you with 3 steps today. Make peace with your broken pieces. There's something that happens here during Thanksgiving in America. Thanksgiving is usually the last Thursday in November to celebrate God's goodness and all that. So even without Thanksgiving, when you cook your food, you make a meal, sometimes things remain. You cook beans, you cook rice, you cook some things. You can sometimes use the remaining leftover from the rice, leftover from the beans, leftover from this, and make a meal. So you can make use of your broken pieces. Nothing needs to be wasted. Be at peace with your broken pieces. At first, I couldn't identify with, like I said before, I was going through the shame of domestic violence. Whenever they speak of domestic violence, I cringe. But now I don't. I'm at peace with it. I went through it. I'm ready to speak up about it, speak up about women being stuck. And one of the things that helped me again is that every time I speak about this domestic violence, I feel liberated, I feel fulfilled. I feel I'm walking into my purpose. And life is a journey of purpose. So believe that your dreams are valid. Never take your dreams for granted. Keep pushing at it. If there's someone listening to me, you've had dreams and you've kept those dreams at the back burner because of the pain, because of the brokenness you've gone through. It is time for you to revisit those dreams. God has a plan for your life. Excuse me. Excuse me. God has a plan for your life. The fact that things are not going the way it should or you had planned it doesn't mean that good days won't come. And so, IJ, for this, like what she said, I am just getting through the word, just recovering. I wouldn't have come out to speak for anything, but just because I'm going to be transforming life, just because there's one person that needs to hear the story and be blessed, and there's one person there that needs to say, oh, if you did it, God, for Linda, then you can pick me up, turn me around, and change my situation. And that is why I'm here. I should be in bed rest, if you can hear from my voice. So everyone has a story. So what's your own story? You've got yours. So embrace it. Again, your story doesn't have to be as fanciful as mine. It doesn't have to be, oh, wow, 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 like Amy's story. Be content with every season in your life and trust God fully. Quit comparing yourself with the race of other people. When I look at IJ and now, and I even look at myself through this recovery journey, we've come a long way. What if IJ had decided not to come up and take this journey and fulfill purpose and be an impact in the lives of people? I wouldn't be sitting here. This beautiful summit that she has put through wouldn't have come to pass. And so I celebrate everyone that's sitting down here that say, oh, after today, I am inspired to go back to my dreams. That little thing that you've always wanted to do, go back at it. Wait for your season and everything will come together. The problem I see in life is that everybody wants to blow, everybody wants to rush, everybody wants to be like the other person. Learn how to follow your path. Follow your path, follow your season. Commitment is a great foundation, and I find out that most people are not committed into what you're doing. When there's commitment, as committed as it every day, you put a little bit of work. It's a lot of work to be where I am today. The journey of recovery, it's not easy, but it's doable. Once you start the journey and you commit it to God, He will see you through. It's just like every day. I've been sick now for a couple of days, but I had to wake up from the bed. It's not that bad that I'm bedridden, I'm not able to walk. I made up my mind to wake up. I made up my mind to take care of myself, to shower and clean up. And so that is how life is. You have to make up. What goals have you set for yourself? Commitment to keep you going, irrespective of what you're feeling. Unless commitment is made, there are only promises and hopes. According to Peter Drucker, you have to make commitment. Check your mental health. Don't allow anybody downplay the value you carry. Again, because you've gone through brokenness doesn't mean you have lost your value. Your value is still, as long as you're still alive, you still carry value. When I wanted to commit, when I was suicidal, I could have just died. And that's why they say the graveyard is a place that has a lot of potentials, a lot of ideas, is the wealthiest place because a lot of people have died with their potentials. Don't allow anybody downplay your value. Yes, you've gone through trauma, you've gone through this, you are a divorcee or you are a widow, you're a widower, or what you've gone through. Still pick up from where you can. Most times we have little, we have little in our hands and we don't want to use it. We're waiting for people's validation. There are people that will never validate you. Even what IJ is doing now, there are people that will listen to IJ say, what is she doing? She wants to join people too and be on Instagram. She wants to follow me and be a coach. Everybody wants to be a coach. Some of them have turned to cockroaches. Everybody wants a coach. Everybody needs a coach. What is IJ doing? Yes, there are people that will never validate you. No matter whatever you're doing, there are people that will never validate you. And the earlier you know that, so just validate yourself and do what God has called you to do. My mantra in life is, since I started this journey, I was used to be a yes, yes person. I didn't know how to set my boundaries. If you tell me this, if you tell me jump, and I'll say how high. If you tell me run, I'll say how far. But now my mantra has changed. Your opinion does not define me. I live by the opinion that God has given about me. Your opinion does not stand in my way. Your opinion cannot stop me. I am called the unstoppable Linda Ago. That is my newest name. I ran a program a couple of months ago, and that's when God gave me I am unstoppable. There's so many things. If someone had told me years ago I will be out in social, I had no business with social media. In fact, my social media account never even existed. My sisters just opened a social media account. I am not that kind of person that want to show up and do that. But because I found out that God has given me a mandate, God has given me a calling for women that feel unstuck, women or people, not just women alone. People that feel, oh, they've gone through one problem or the other, they've gone through one trauma or the other, and they're set back, they're held back. It's time for you to move. Start believing in you. If you don't believe in you, nobody else will believe in you. But it's funny how we believe in others. Like you go to your doctor's office, you believe your doctor, you believe your hairstylist, you believe your tailor, you believe other people, you can't believe in yourself. So it's time to start believing in you. What do you have? Again, you don't have to have too much. Just like the woman in the Bible, the widow of Zarephath with the oil, she didn't have much. And one thing I found out with God is that is so amazing with God, that He doesn't deal with much. In fact, God deals with the messiest, if there's a word like that. The people with the most mess in their life, that's who God likes. He deals with them. Because He wants to use your mess to send a message. So if you're listening to me, don't wait for anybody to push you. You've got to push yourself. Just keep it going. I tell myself I am an experience. I write about I am an experience. When I see myself today, I look back at how far I'm not yet there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not there yet. But I've made progress. I've made progress is not perfection. I'm not going to be perfect, but I've made progress. Little steps. And you can do the same. Do you know what you need to do to heal from your broken pieces? Are you going after them? So many people look good on the outside. Thank God for the bone still weak. Thank God for the makeup. Thank God for the beautiful name, the nails, the glam, the social media. A lot of people look so beautiful from inside. But if you come closer to them, there's nothing inviting. There's no fragrance. Because your fragrance is about doing the work that God has called you. The fragrance is about what He has called you for. Find out your fragrance. And how to find out that fragrance is to go back to the person that has the blueprint. Go back to God that has the master plan. Your phone is bad, you go to the manual. Your electronics, you go to the manual. Your car, you go to the manual of the manufacturer. Life has no manual, they say. But our manual is just for us to go back to the source. Our manual is to go back to the source and read the word and let God show you where you fit in. Life is only as good as you make it. Now that I started this journey, after when I was going through that, I was miserable. I had a lot of health issues, some of which I'm still going through. But I've seen myself. I found out I find more joy. I'm more happy, and I found out that I look younger compared to what I was before. A lot of people tell me that you look different. You look good. It's because I'm fulfilling my purpose. So if you feel you want to get yourself back, your radiance come back, you want your shine to come back, go back and find your purpose, even with your pain. And one of the scriptures I like is like that. God says, when I was going through that challenge, God says, "Oh, give thanks to the Lord for His good, and everything that is within me, give praise to God, give praise." And I was asking God, everything that's within me, with the anger, the bitterness, with what I'm going through. Yes, God says, give them to me. and I'll do an exchange. And I gave God reasons why I had to be bitter, why I had to be angry, where somebody brought me and I'm frustrated. I can't move on. And I gave all that to God. So my confession then was that I am gifted with a spirit of power and of a sound mind and not a spirit of fear. I have the ability and the capability to create options no matter my circumstances, no matter what I have gone through, Linda. You are unstoppable. You are a life changer. You are a destiny helper. I started speaking good to myself because these were all the things they used to tell me. My ex would tell me how ugly I looked, how nobody's going to love me, how I cannot make, I'm not intelligent, how I'm not smart. But I had to change that through positive affirmations. So once in those times, those negative, disempowering thoughts will come back to me and tell me, remember they told you you're not good enough. Remember you cannot think. Remember you're not that smart. And I will change it to positive affirmation. I am unstoppable. I have the life of God in me. I can do all things through Christ. I was changing it. I used affirmations. I used visualization. I used meditations. I told myself, I'm gifted. Write out your own. If you cannot write out your own affirmation, look for affirmations you can write that inspires you. I'm of a sound mind. I have the ability and capability to create no matter what I've gone through. And I started to ask myself this question while I'm rounding up. Who am I? Who am I? What do I want? Where am I going? And why am I here? I'll take those questions again. Who am I? What do I want? Where am I going? And why am I here? The answers to these questions will allow yourself to discover and elevate yourself, and you celebrate your uniqueness, and you begin to flourish. To bloom fully, you have to open up your heart and soul. In fact, for everything, for a flower to bloom, it needs to open up. Be your authentic self and be vulnerable. Those are the key things to living a flourish and blooming blossom life. I had to be authentic. I had to tell my story. That's my story is my authenticity. I had to be vulnerable to tell you what I've gone through. And that's when I began to bloom. Being able to speak the truth in love and desires right now, bitterness, I don't have time for that. Because I started exuding love. I started even feeling, I exuded love even to the people that abused me, or to the person that abused me. When you flourish, everything, when you begin to flourish and live when you begin to flourish, everything you desire begins to happen to you. It desires you. Sometimes we unconsciously get into deep thoughts where we're thinking of what's fears that can happen. How about thinking about the best thing that can happen? Well, fear is not always fear. Fear has a different definition for me. To me, fear means face everything rather than run. Fear everything rather than run. So I want to encourage everyone listening to me in closing that broken crayons can still color. Irrespective of how you've gone, life has treated you, broken crayon can still color. And by that, I mean that a person may have gone through trauma or may have gone through brokenness. You still have your purpose and your value. Your brokenness does not deter your value. It doesn't deter your purpose. In fact, the brokenness is a speed, is a catalyst to your purpose. You can feature in the picture that you can picture. I'm going to say that again. You can feature in the picture that you want to picture. I've written a letter to my future self. My future self, how my future self is going to be. It's a beautiful letter. So you need to see yourself in the future. Write a letter to your future self. You must progressively live your life in such a way that you can keep evolving every day. Kristen Mason Miller, one of my favorite writers, said, at any time, at any moment in life, you have the power to say this is how the story is going to end. At any given time in life, you have the power to say this is how the story is going to end. So I'm going to ask you, what is your legacy? How do you want your story to end? You want them to say, "Oh, this lady, she had she was broken. She went through brokenness, and then that was it. She died, and that was the end of the story." See, go and find out. There's so many people that have gone through worse situations that you have been, but they didn't allow the story end there. You are the script. You are the script writer of your story, so you can decide how you want your story to end. You can decide how you want it to end. Do you want it to end the way it is? In conclusion, when we learn to appreciate the journey, even when it's so difficult, you can't fathom, you can't imagine, we have learned the art of kintsugi philosophy. Thank you so much, IJ. It was a pleasure being in this conference. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Matt. Thank you so much, Dr. Linda. Like, I am so grateful, like, to God. I'm really, really grateful to God that you were able to make it. Guys, please show Dr. Linda some love. Like, really, like a couple days ago, I just saw her on a video call and she wasn't really feeling well. And I felt, oh wow, oh, just take good care of yourself. I don't know if you'll be able to make it, but I just really want to thank God that she was able to show up. She was able to, speak with us. And honestly, like, I am like her prodigy, because if she had given up on me, like, this is just one person. And that was why when I was really kind of like talking earlier on, I'm saying, listen, you need a mentor, you need someone to always hold your hand, like she did. She did not give up on me. She believed so much in me. She held my hand. Like, everybody needs a Dr. Linda in their life. Like, honestly, like, if she had not, even like, she took bullets for me. And at some point, some people might be like, are you sure? Why are you so defending this person? Like, you don't even know them really, but she took the bullets. She accepted me the way I was, the way I am. It was insane. Like, the love. Like, I remember when I was at the shelter, she would call me and be like, "Do you have food?" She would invite me, and then I go, and then she would want to give me her whole house. Literally. "Oh, do you have tissue paper? Do you have this? Do you have toiletries? This is food." And she, like, different plates of different foods, and I'm like, oh my wow, if I had not had somebody like this, sorry, how would I have coped? Like, everybody needs a Dr. Linda in their life, and I just really want to say thank you. Like, she is one person that you need to connect with, like, honestly, because if she had not cared about me, maybe I wouldn't have had that confidence. She keeps saying, "Go, girl, you can do it. You make me proud, girl." Like, she just keeps giving me that morale, and that's, that kind of. I just really want to say thank you, ma. I can go on and on and on. I really want to thank you because of your selflessness. Like, Dr. Lina is that one person that you can call her at the middle of the night. She's so selfless. She will leave whatever she's going through or whatever her thing is, and she will just be like, "Okay, don't worry, I can talk to you. I want to hear you out. I want to hold your hands. I want to help you." So there's no enough of Dr. Lindas in the world today. There are not so many. There are not so many. And I don't know what you're doing with your story, all the things you've heard from all the speakers tonight. I don't know what you're doing with them. There are not so many Dr. Lindas in the world today. And I want to say thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you
so much. I want to just publicly, openly, like, just say it, because if you had just not, I don't know, I would not have had this confidence to do some of the things I'm doing now, and all the support that you're giving me, all the care, all the love. Like, thank you so much. It feels, I just feel like I have a mom in the US in you, because hey, my parents are all the way there and I communicate with them virtually, but you're just really that family, that connect, that mom, that's, parents that I did not have in the US. And I really want to openly, acknowledge this and just say thank you so much.
Ajay, thank you so much.
I don't know, but I know you're going to catch up the replay, but please make sure you connect with Dr. Linda. Please connect with her if you can. You can reach out to Dr. Linda, and Dr. Linda, please tell us where we can connect with you. If anybody would like to connect with you, because I am just her prodigy, because she actually like I am one of those. So if you're seeing me, you know that, listen, she did a lot of work on the back end. There are certain times she'll be like, I know you're far away, it's a phone conversation, but I can just thank you. Like she's just that person that would be brutally honest to you, to tell you, listen, I know I can, whatever. Like, she'll tell you, and when it's time to admonish you, she will. When it's time to praise you, she will. Like, there's always that time, and she is that one person, and I want to say thank you. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
I know there's so
Thank
many other people who, God used in my life, but really, guys, Dr. Linda really kind of like took most of the bullets, and I want to say, God bless you, ma. Thank you so much.
you.
So
Thank you so much.
tell us where we can find you, and as we begin to wrap up.
Thank you so much, IJ. And I return all the glory to God. I am just a servant. I'm just called to lift people. And that's my primary assignment. We need to show up. And it was because of you, or people like you, that I went through what I went through, so that I can be a voice and impact lives. Thank you so much again. I truly celebrate you. I honor you. I could be found on Instagram as I am Dr. Linda. On Facebook and LinkedIn, I am Linda Agu, AGU, Linda Agu. That's how to find me. Thank you so much, IJ. And again, I celebrate you for such an incredible, awesome. This is your first one, and it's this powerful. I can imagine what, like, the world is about to see you translate. The world is going to watch you and see more of you. You're going to be a light and a voice to so many people. In fact, you're already doing it now. I remember when I saw the flyer, I was like, wow, what a powerful one. This is going to blow up. And I've been blessed. I've really enjoyed the 3 days. And again, I celebrate all the speakers. I thank you. I thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, IJ. I love you.
Thank you so much, ma. I love you too. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, ma. Whoa, 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 whoa. It was such, oh my, wow. It was such an incredible, mind-blowing session with my mama, Dr. Linda Agu. And one of the things she said that really kind of like, stood out to me so well. There's no glory without a story. You cannot have that glory without a story. Even Jesus Christ, right? He has a story. There was a story that led to the glory of him becoming the savior of the world, and how he had paid it all, right? If he had not gone through that story, that rigorous process of whatever, he wouldn't have had that glory. And that's just what it is, basically. There's that, there's something. And then one of the things that she said again that really kind of like struck the chord was when she said, every broken crayon still colors. So no matter how broken you are, you can still color. Whew. It's been, oh my wow, it's been 3 incredible, mind-blowing days of impact. Wow. I'm just giving all the credit to God. Like, I'm just really, really incredibly thanking God, because he made it happen. Like, there's no way this would have happened without him, like without his help. I want to say thank you, Lord. Like, I'm just grateful to God for, making it happen. And I just want to thank all the speakers for their time, for their selflessness, to humanity. Like, just to show up, just to be able to touch, even if it's one person. I want to thank from the first speaker we had, Coach Eden. Wow. Thank you so much, Coach Eden. I know I've been part of your coaching course. Like, you believed so much in me. You came in, you opened it up, you showed up, you blessed us. You shared your wisdom. I want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much, Andrea Mason. I want to say thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you so much for impacting us. Thank you so much, so much, so much for showing us that, hey, even though I am broken, even though I had to go through some difficult situations, but look at me, I am not my mess. My mess has become a message that the world needs to hear. I want to say thank you so much, Andrea Mason. Thank you. And I want to say the next speaker that we had on Friday, I want to say thank you. Thank you to the next speaker, Masha Martin. Thank you so much, Dr. Masha Martin. I want to say thank you for that incredible meditation exercise that really left people were literally like feeling refreshed after that session of breathing exercise. It was incredible. It was fabulous. I really felt reflect, like I was even tearing up when afterward, like it was whew. Thank you so much, Dr. Masha Martin. I want to say thank you. And I want to thank so much my first speaker for Saturday, Gavin Scott. I want to say thank you so much. And guys, Gavin Scott wasn't feeling too well, but he still showed up regardless. That is the selflessness that I just don't know, that thrills me. He still showed up. He's been really sick for a couple of days. He's been really down, but he decided, and he's like, you know what? I will show up regardless. I want to thank you so much, Gavin Scott. Thank you. Thank you so much, Gavin Scott. And I want to also, I want to thank my other speaker, Laurie Heppers. Laurie shattered the place with love. Like after her session, I felt love. Like the atmosphere was filled with love. Like she is magical. She has something. I call her the love doctor, because just listening to her kind of like oozed out love. Like just hearing her speak, you're going to be seeing, hearing, feeling love, like love. I want to say thank you so much, Laurie Heppers. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I want to thank the incredible Tom Palori. Tom, I want to thank you so much. Tom was actually on transit. They were actually, his wife was driving and he was on the journey somewhere, and then he still showed up. Like he would have said, you know what, I'm driving, I'm on the journey, I'm on transit, but he still showed up regardless. And then when he was sharing, you could see that he's on transit. He was, but he still shared with us. I'm just thrilled. Like the selflessness is just so unimaginable. I want to thank you, Tom Palori. Thank you so much. And then I just, I hope my, Lee Roebeck, I pray you feel better and you get well soon. And he wasn't able to make it. We love you. Thank you so much for, accepting to come on. He was truly prepared. Like he was ready, but life happened. So I just pray you get well soon, feel better, Lee. Okay. We love you, Lee. And then to my incredible QueenBea. She had too many reasons why she wouldn't have been able to make it. An emergency call, she's in the hospital. It was some her daughter. But she, regardless of whatever it is, at the hospital, she was able to speak to us. Even if it's just one person that she spoke to, and she spoke to me because she said, what will fill in your dash? When someone dies and you're beginning to say from 1988, well, that's my date of birth anyway, from 1988, the 1988 dash, what is going to fill in that dash? What is going to fill it in? And for me, I don't want to waste my life. I don't want to just live a life that wouldn't that a life without legacy, a life without purpose, I don't want to waste it. I don't want to waste it because I was created for more. And that was the subject QueenBea brought. What is going to fill in your dash? QueenBea, I want to thank you so much because that was so powerful. Irrespective of where you are, irrespective of the state, your mind would have been like, oh my God, I'm at the hospital, I can't do this, but you still showed up and you were able to speak. You were able to admonish us and you encouraged us. I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. And now to Dr. Linda Ago. Oh, whew. Thank you so much for really pouring your hearts. Pouring your hearts. Listen, I want to say it possibly was because of me you had to go through all of the things you went through. Because if you had not gone through them, there was no way you would be able to wear that shoes again, just to be able to, be empathetic and to help me and pull me out. And honestly, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. I have a mom in you. Like, you are incredible. Thank you. Thank you so much. And to all the listeners who have been here, family, friends, and I want to thank the IT crew who really kind of like put some of these things together, because I am not too IT savvy, even though I am kind of a little bit, but not so much. It's actually Villian IT Consultancy or something like that. I'm Vincent Okoli. I don't know if he's watching. I want to say thank you. Thank you so much, Vincent, for really kind of like for all the links that you put in. All the things you've done, the emails you sent, everything that you did, the back end stuff. I think it's Villian IT Consultant. I want to say thank you. And guys, honestly, like I want you guys to hook up and connect with this guy, because he is good, like really good, because I wouldn't have been able to do all of these things without these people who who were just there to tell me what to do at every point in time. This wouldn't have been a success without them. I want to say thank you so much, Vincent Okoli. Thank you. And I want to thank my incredible graphic designer. I think his name is Simple Graphics, but if you need his contact, I will give it to you. He is incredible. This guy is, oh my God, he is a super fabulous graphic designer. I will recommend him any day, anytime. If you go to the Beautifully Broken Me on my IG or Facebook or wherever it is, all of those beautiful flyers you see, it's from this particular guy. I want to so much thank you so much, James Benson. I want to thank you for the incredible job you've done, for all the links, everything you've put it in. I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. Like, really, thank you so much. Thank you again, Vincent, and all the IT crews. Thank you. I want to thank all my siblings. Thank you so much for all the little errands you've done here and there. I know you bunch your data, you're just watching everybody. Thank you so much. And I want to thank all my friends, everybody who showed up, who just really spent their time and just, regardless of what's going on, they're still connected and they're still listening. I want to thank you. And I want to thank you for, all of you who are really kind of like part of the Beautifully Broken Me Facebook group. Thank you so much for just staying in and watching in. I want to thank anybody who's joining on YouTube, and I might not even know you, but you're still here, you're listening, you're watching. I want to thank you so much. And I want to thank everybody, like regardless of, I can't really know, but just thank you. Just accept my love and accept my thanks, okay? From the team, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. And as I begin to wrap up, like, I don't know if you missed it, but I'm introducing a podcast bootcamp. And I don't want you to take up all of these things that you've learned and not put it into use. So I'm introducing this podcast bootcamp. So if you really want to take your story to the next level, you should start up with having a podcast. If you really want to have that digital footprint, if you really want to build your brand, you should be starting with having a podcast. And I'm not just having a podcast. Yes, anybody can just wake up and decide, boom, I want to have a podcast. But you need to have a podcast. You need to do it the right way. And I want to really help you. I want to guide you in showing you what to do and how to do it. I want to do it for you. I want to show you, I want to guide you. I want to really kind of like hold your hands in this process so that you would not just do it anyhow, but you're going to do it well and be consistent with it. I want you to please connect with me. Please reach out to me. It's going to run for 5 weeks, and I assure you, you're going to be very consistent afterwards. And this is the reason when I started my podcast, I have not stopped. I release my podcast every Monday, and it has been consistent since I started podcasting in April of last year, April 4th. You want to go check it out, the Beautifully Broken Me podcast. I have consistently released episodes every week since I started. And I want to show you how you can, be able to show up in your authentic self. So I love podcasting a lot. And I want you to know that if you're thinking, maybe I want to start that, please reach out to me because I'm launching this 5 weeks podcast bootcamp. I'm going to be showing you how to successfully launch your podcast and how to grow your podcast like a pro. I'm going to be showing you reasons why many podcasts fail and what to avoid. And again, I'm going to be teaching you the WWWHW of podcasting. And then guess what? I added an incredible bonus: basic graphic design and professional podcast editing skills. This is something I'm going to be adding to you. I'm going to be adding to you, and I'm going to be showing you, like, it's really, really, really going to be whoa, because I'm going to be showing you some world-class podcast must-haves. Let me tell you, this podcasting has introduced me to incredible, phenomenal people that I've never, ever envisaged to have had anything that would have connected me with them. And I just want to give you a little tip of the iceberg. All these incredible speakers that have spoken in this platform, they were once on my podcast as a guest. And that was where I built that relationship with them. So listen, guys, you want to build your network, you need to have a podcast. And I want to guide you on how to get this done. I want to hold your hands. I want to show you how to, get into podcast monetization. I want to show you how to promote your podcasts and build your personal brand. So if you're interested and it's something that appeals to you, please send me a DM, but it's going to be for a little investment. It's going to be for a little investment. I will be putting the link, okay? I'm going to be putting the link on the chat, okay? If it's something you're interested, I'm going to be putting the link on the chat. Please make sure you sign up. But the link is actually going to be www.thebeautifullybrokemme.com/podcast bootcamp. I'm just going to put it in just going to put it on the chat. beautifullybrokemme.com/podcasts bootcamp. Make sure it's correct. Yes, it is. So sign up for my podcast bootcamp. So yes. So I just really want to encourage you guys. Please sign up, okay? Sign up for, this is the link. I just sent the link. I want you to sign up. It's actually, just sign up, and then I will be putting the payment links. Okay, it's really, really going to be for just a little token, because honestly, I would have just decided and be like, oh, let me just make it free. But I've just realized whenever anything is free, people don't attach value to it. Whenever something is free, people don't take it seriously. Whenever something is free, people don't put their best in it. They just people wouldn't put their best in it. It would just be, they won't take it seriously when something is free. So I just really want you guys to know that um I will be running that. That's gonna be for 5 Saturdays. I want to know if you're interested. We're gonna be kicking off soon, so let me know if you're interested. Just kind of like, fill that form on that link that I sent, or you can just go to thebeautifullybrokehomie.com/bootcamp. Okay. Thebeautifullybrokehomie.com/bootcamp. That is where you should go to. And I actually put in the link to the payment detail. The link is going out, so I just really want you guys to please click on the link and just kind of like see how much it's gonna be, just for a little token. It's just a little investment, and honestly, I love podcasting and I know you will love it too. So before I let you go, I want you to please send us feedback if this summit has blessed you in any way. If you feel blessed, if you feel uplifted, if you feel like, you know what, I want to take my message to the next level, if you want to connect with any of the speakers that had spoken at this event, or you have any questions whatsoever, or you're kind of confused as to, I'm just really not knowing where to start from, please write to us. Send us an email at thebeautifullybrokennme@gmail.com. Again, thebeautifullybrokennme@gmail.com. I'm going to repeat that. Send us feedbacks, okay? And write to us. We love feedback. Send us feedbacks and write to us at thebeautifullybrokennme@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. Just, even if it's more like, oh, thank you for all you did this summit, I really loved it, whatever it is, just send it to us and tell us how you're feeling. Send us an email at thebeautifullybrokennme@gmail.com. And please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook at the Beautifully Broken Me Facebook group. Please follow us on Facebook so that you can be up to date with all the incredible, beautiful things we're doing. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please like this video. And also follow us on social media. Follow us on Instagram also at the Beautifully Broken Me. And please always look out for our podcast, the Beautifully Broken Me podcast. It's in all the podcast outlets. So I'm looking forward to connecting with you. I'm looking forward to reading your feedbacks. I'm looking forward to just getting to meet with you on one-on-one maybe. I want you all to enjoy the rest of the week. I want to believe that you've been empowered. I want to believe that you have gain some clarity this weekend. I want to believe that you've really grown, you've really found yourself, found found visibility. You've really gained something, one or two things. I want to believe you've shifted from where you were before to where you are now. And if that is what it is, please, we want to hear from you. Send us some feedbacks, and I want you to take good care of you. Okay, take good care of yourself as we wrap up this evening. I want everybody, you guys listening, to take good care of yourself. And I will see you next time, okay? So please connect so that we don't lose contact. Just connect with us at the Beautifully Broken Me Facebook group, and we will see you again whenever we have our next summit. I don't know when it's gonna be, but we'll keep you posted. Thank you so much. As we close, we will be listening to the same brand song that I'm using for this event. So this is really kind of like a beautiful song, and I love it. It's from my homegirl, Nke Maduforo. So listen to this song as we dance out.
I am brand new now that I found you. More to the point, Lord, since you found me. Now I know what it means to be free, to fulfill destiny. Listen to my story and how that's gonna glory. Turn my life around. Said he washed me and it just me, filled me and Nobody lifted me, set my feet on higher ground. So now I'm proud of you. Ooh, yeah. Said I'm proud of you. Ooh, yeah. I'm found by you. So many told me of the things that said relax and cages to set you free. This is self-improvement and image consultancy. But I tried and I tried, but none could touch my soul. Till you came and you took control. Now I can sing it from the roof that I'm proud. I can say it's me out of my heart.
Yes. As we close, I just really want to give a shout out to this particular incredible guy who actually did my brand song. His name is Tunjizi. I want to really thank him. For doing my brand song. He actually put together this particular incredible, the Beautifully Broken Me song. And I want to really oh my wow, I'm so I can't really not give him credit. I just want you guys to just listen to the song for a bit. It's really whew, mind blowing. Just listen to the song for a bit, and then we're just gonna close. And I'll put his link so you can kind of connect with him. Okay.
Beautifully broken. I'm unstoppable, I'm lovable, I'm unshakable, I'm so beautiful. I attract good things, great people. I am worthy to be loved. I'm unstoppable, I am lovable, unshakable, I'm so beautiful. I attract good things, great people. I am worthy of beautifully broken me. Beautifully broken me, yeah. The beautifully broken me, yeah. The beautifully broken me, yeah. I'm a queen, I am royalty.
Yes. So we have closed. We are about to wrap up for today. And that song you just listened to is actually from this particular incredible singer called Tunjizi. I'm just really doing my last vote of thanks. So please, guys, I just sent the link in. Connect with him. He can customize any brand song that you would like. Okay, as we close for today, thank you so much for joining us, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now, everyone. Take care. Bye.